Hidden Valley Ranch is made with real ingredients for real ranch flavor that's impossible to put into words. But that's pretty close. Hidden Valley Ranch. New bottle, same great flavor.
Made in Georgia.
Gold Bond believes touch says everything. It says, I got you. And I'm never letting go. Ever. Gold Bond. Get in touch with irresistibly touchable skin.
Did you know taking Zysol at night relieves allergies while you sleep? So you wake refreshed for a more productive day. Get 24-hour continuous relief that does not fade. Be wise all, take Zysol at night.
Gold Bond believes touch says everything. It says, I see you. I feel you. And I know you. Gold Bond. Get in touch with irresistibly touchable skin.
Did you know taking Zysol at night relieves allergies while you sleep? So you wake refreshed for a more productive day. Get 24-hour continuous relief that does not fade. Be wise all, take Zysol at night.
Gold Bond believes touch says everything. It says, I got you. And I'm never letting go. Ever. Gold Bond. Get in touch with irresistibly touchable skin.
It's me, Wednesday Addams. My meal of misfortune is now at Wendy's. It's pure torture, with uniquely excruciating dips of dread. Enjoy the anguish.
This is Conway Medical Center's Friday Night Rivals, powered by Mr. Sparky on the CW21.
Welcome to Bruin Stadium on the campus of South Florence High School in Florence, South Carolina, where tonight, number 1 faces number 2, or number 1 faces number 3. I'll get to that in just a few moments, but Coach,
or number 1 faces number 1.
This is the best game in the state of South Carolina, bar none, and we get to be a part of it.
Absolutely, and I think it's going to be a great game. These two teams have played 2 times previously, one for a state championship, which South Florence won, and then one last year where Northwestern pretty much dominated South Florence, and both of them went on to win the state championship last year.
So we've got 2 state champions playing each other tonight in Flowtown. It's going to be a great game. Coach Jordan, myself, Alan Smothers, and Paul Gable in the booth, and the third guy on the broadcast team on the field is Rodney Berry, and he is with Athletic Director Cody Slaughter.
Coach Bad Boy, we've got the hottest ticket in the state as these 2 heavyweights collide, and I can't wait. I have Athletic Director with me, Cody Slaughter. Sir, what a game we're getting ready to watch.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be a great one for sure, yeah.
Well, you guys are fearless in your schedule. You had Summerville last week, which you were successful at, and now we got Northwestern.
Yeah, Coach Marlowe does a good job building that schedule. We wants to challenge the kids early in the season so that when we come playoff time, we've seen the best there is to see.
Well, South Florence just wants to compete. We've witnessed that. Sir, before we let you go, we've got some good friends at Conway Medical Center, and they sent us down here to give you this $500 check. They support athletics.
Thank you. Well, certainly thank you to Conway Medical Center. Always a great to be a part of Friday Night Rivals, and we do appreciate their support.
Chuck Allen, let's get it on.
Get it on is right. Rodney Berry on the sideline. And, Coach, two defending state champions battling here tonight. And you know Northwestern wants to pay back South Florence for the last time they met for the 4A state championship 2 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. And they played twice in the history of the two schools. And it's just begun to be such a great rivalry.
Well, we're going to tell you all about it when we come back to South Florence High School. It's Friday night rivals, the Bruins and the Trojans, two of the best three teams in the state, bar none, right here on the Conway Medical Center Friday night rivals presented by Mr. Sparky.
What's with all the goats? GOAT. George's outstanding attorney team?
After you've been injured in a car crash, call George Sink Injury Lawyers and get the GOAT on your side. Hurt? Call all nines now.
Want to recycle plastic bags? Be sure to do it right. Plastic bags are a serious contaminant when processing recyclables. Therefore, they are not accepted for recycling in your curbside cart or at recycling centers. Plastic bags can be recycled by returning them to retail stores, like grocery or department stores. Visit www.solidwasteauthority.org or www.recyclerightsc.org for more info on how to recycle right, South Carolina.
Greatness is measured in the mornings you wake up ready to move, in the moments you choose motion over stillness, in every single time you refuse to sit this one out. That's why CMC Orthopedics has 5 locations across the county and sees walk-in patients every day. It's why the Chanticleers trust us with their dreams as the premier orthopedic provider of CCU athletics. Greatness keeps moving, and CMC Orthopedics keeps you there.
At HTC, we're here to keep you connected, here to help you work and play better from home. And most importantly, here with HTC Smart Wi-Fi, providing a safe, secure, and reliable fiber optic connection. We're HTC, and we're here for you, so you can be there for all of life's best moments. Stay better connected. Build closer connections. Connect with HTC Internet. HTC, here to connect.
I was T-boned at an intersection. My car was totaled, bills are piling up, and I needed help. Fast. I called George Sink Injury Lawyers, and they got me $710,000. If you've been hurt, don't wait. Call all nines now. They helped me, and I know they'll help you too.
Back at Bruin Stadium on the campus at South Florence High School, where tonight number 1 plays number 3 if you're looking at Sports Illustrated. If you're looking at the media poll in the state of South Carolina, number 1 plays number 2 because South Florence is number 3 according to Sports Illustrated, but they're number 1 in 4A according to the media, while Northwestern is number 1 in Sports Illustrated and number 2 in 5A for the media, Coach. But give me your keys to the game tonight, Mr. Sparky, and Myrtle Beach Hyundai keys to the game.
Well, first of all, Northwestern has a very explosive offense, and they're going to have, South Florence is going to have to limit them to longer drives, believe it or not. They don't want them to score as quickly as they have been against everybody. And I think they got to keep the ball in front of them and just make them earn what they get.
You told me that Northwestern is used to scoring in 3 and 4 play drives.
Yes, they typically have scored between 3 and 5 plays on every one of their drives. And so, again, South Florence needs to keep the ball in front of them, and they're going to have to put some pressure on the quarterback. Now, the thing that makes that tough, as soon as you pressure him, they're going to start distributing the ball outside with quick screens, et cetera, so that any rush is ineffective. So you've got to play well up front and in the secondary to challenge them in any way. Now, on the other hand, South Florence will run the football. And the defensive line is probably the least experienced group. If you look in the secondary for Northwestern, they've got their top football player, who is Texas A&M commit, Watkins, is probably as good a football player as there is in South Carolina. And on the other side,
Watkins is ranked number 1.
On the other side, Joshua Singleton Number 2 has committed to Charleston Southern, so they've got some very quality guys in the secondary.
Well, we'll let you take a look at the rest of the keys as we unfold, but Myrtle Beach Hyundai, remember, no games, no gimmicks, just good deals at Myrtle Beach Hyundai. It's time for the Horry County Solid Waste Authority protecting tomorrow's environment today. Starting lineups. The Bruins will get the football first. Northwestern won the toss, elected to defer. So quarterback Messiah Jackson, we'll see him for the second time this year, and tailback Cameron James. Wide receivers are Jayon Perkins, Samaj Parker, Bruce Thompson, and Ben Tyner. And your offensive front is Josiah Mason, Miles Hudson, Luke Thayer, Jerry Ginwright, and the Citadel commit, Ethan Cash. He's supposed to be a really good one, Coach.
Yeah, they've got good players all over this roster.
6'6", 325.
Yeah, and on both sides of the field. I think we got a compilation of as many good football players as any game in the state.
Yeah, I think at least 5 or 6 of the players tonight have already committed to play Division I football next year.
Yeah, we actually have 4 commitments on Northwestern's side and 4 on South Florence's side. So 8 kids. Now, that doesn't include some underclassmen that will eventually be commits.
Of course, South Florence in the home blue tonight. Dark blue with light blue numbers, white trim, and white helmets. And Northwestern in all white from shoulder to knee, with the purple helmets and the white trim. For the defense on the Horry County Solid Waste Authority defense for Northwestern, Malik Darby is the defensive end on one side, Nolan McKinnon on the other. Kobe McNeely and Bronzier Nicholson are the tackles. The linebackers are Jeremiah Cannon and Cameron McFadden. The DBs are the 2 commits, Josiah Singleton, who's committed to Charleston Southern, and Tamarian Watkins, the number 1 player in the state, wearing number 1 at 6'4", 200 pounds, committed to Texas A&M. Your safety is Jalen Richardson, and the DBs are Marion Coleman and Jaden Baxter. We've got toe to leather, and the ball is out of the end zone. It is a touchback, 1st and 10 for South Florence to have the football.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see a heavy run package on South Florence's part. Jackson is certainly capable of throwing the ball down the field, but I think that they want to slow this game down and try to gain and establish not only field position but time of possession.
I was going to say, to slow this Northwestern offense down. Best defense is a good offense for South Florence. And they hand it right up the middle to Cameron James on the first down, and Northwestern
says they have
the fumble. The officials are not agreeing yet. There's a convergence, but they're saying nope. He was down by contact after a 3-yard gain. 2nd and 7 from the 23.
And, Alan, I didn't see the ball come out. It may have. But they certainly started pointing pretty quickly into that play.
So it was a scrum underneath, and Northwestern does not get the benefit of the doubt this time. Here's the pistol snap, and boy, what a tackle in the backfield by number 33, Cameron McFadden. He jumped all over.
And he didn't look like he got blocked at all, did he?
Mm-mm.
And, of course, now Coach says that their linebackers are their best players as far as stopping the run. I think they have a relatively young defensive line, but certainly a capable defensive line.
James barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Also in the ballgame now is Gabe McLaughlin.
We don't have a lot of height and weights on their linemen, but they got some meat on them. I can tell you that from up here.
Twin receivers to the right, one to the left. McLaughlin comes out of the backfield. He's looking for it. Quarterback goes that way, but he is tracked down in the backfield and taken down for a sack.
And that is Watkins on the sack. They brought him up and brought him off the edge, and he was all over him.
Wow.
I don't know if we can see that again on the replay, but it would be, I think you'll see he walks up late and comes now. And you can see right here on the replay, see him coming out of the secondary.
Goodness gracious. He came out like he was shot out of a gun, Coach. And that's as tough a defense as you're going to see.
Oh, and they get a bad bounce.
Bad bounce off the kick by the quarterback.
And
who also is the punter, Messiah Jackson.
Yeah, and they're starting this game like they did like West Florence did in their game. Their first possession is going to be on the 33-yard line going in, and for a team that's used to taking it the distance, it shouldn't be difficult for Northwestern from here.
That was a 13-yard loss on third down and only about a 20-yard punt. So Northwestern takes over 1st and 10 at the 33 with Xavier Means at quarterback. He takes the shotgun snap, fires out into the near boundary, and pushing out of bounds is number 22 for Northwestern, Quay Mobley. Mobley coming out of the backfield, taking the snap.
And that's the first down. He got a first down on that play. They lined it up real quick, and they're getting ready to snap it.
So it was a 10-yard pickup, 1st and 10. They throw quickly again, out to the 15, down to the 10-yard line, pushing him out of bounds. It's going to be another Northwestern first down. Coach, you were right. They throw it all over the place, and they get to the house in a hurry.
Yeah, and they're going to spread the football around. And what you got to do, you got to get to the quarterback eventually. But initially, early on, they're going to get the ball out in a hurry.
Nose of the football right on the 10-yard line. It's 1st and goal. Quay Mobley in the backfield. We were debating whether it was Mobley or Mobley. I think we came up with Mobley, and Mobley has the football, and he's going to be tackled in the backfield. Actually, he does pick up a yard to the 9-yard line, so it'll be 2nd down and goal. Mobley, a 5'7", 175-pound junior, and a nice tackle by the South Florence defense.
Well, the defense has slowed them down because it's already taken 4 plays on offense.
4 plays, and they're inside the 10-yard line. And, of course, that is the Robinson Community College red zone. For Northwestern, the quarterback stumbles, fights away from a tackler, and picks up a yard, Coach.
Yeah, and he had him in the backfield and just couldn't hang on, and yet he scrambled out for 2 or 3 yards, but nonetheless they put him in a spot that they want him in. This is tough territory down here, 3rd and 9, because your receivers don't have an opportunity to stretch the field vertically.
Xavier Means with a single setback. That's Quay Mobley. He's looking in the end zone, and he's tackled in the backfield. Sack for the South Florence Bruins. First man to get there is Miles Johnson.
Miles Johnson, and they're going to kick it. They sent their kicking team in, and that's a win when you can get in that situation defensively.
100%. That's a win for the South Florence defense.
Whether he makes his kick or not.
Right, whether Northwestern gets points out of this, and this is a tough one. Right-footed kicker is going to have to push this. And the kicker for Northwestern is Alex Bant. And the holder is the quarterback, Xavier Means. So watch out for some shenanigans.
Yeah, and evidently, Alan, we had somebody line up off sides on defense because that flag was thrown. And it doesn't really matter. It's just a little closer kick, but I think basically it puts them in the same situation.
7-yard loss on the sack. So it's going to be a 22-yard field goal. Make it a 29-yard
and we
field goal.
got a flag, and
a
I'm
flag
not sure
again.
What this is.
This looks like it's going to go against South Florence again, Coach.
Well, it's kind of hard to tell right now because the guy that threw the flag was in the backfield, which really lends itself to an offensive penalty.
It was a false start against the Trojans, so it is going to back them up to 5 yards. So they're going to go back to another 33-yard field goal.
Well, the kickers had plenty of warm-ups.
Yeah. Quarterback Xavier Means holds for the left-footed kicker, Alex Sant. He's the 3rd left-footed kicker we've seen this year. That one looks good.
And it's
got the distance, and it splits the pipes to give Northwestern a 3-0 lead to start this one.
Yeah, and I can tell you, with starting off with the drive that they started off with, South Florence, and ended up giving them the ball on the 32-yard line, I'd give up 3 points in a hurry.
Yeah, Coach, I think that's a win for the South Florence defense right there.
And I agree with you.
You're at your own 33 to start, and you give up a 33-yard field goal?
Yes.
Pretty good.
And really, they were spreading the ball around extremely well, but what happens when you get that close to the goal line, you don't have the threat of depth. And when you lose that depth threat, then then it makes it a little easier to cover because you can tighten up on them. You don't have to worry about somebody running by you.
Well, they ran most of their plays in the Robinson Community College red zone, but you've got our Mr. Sparky stats.
Yeah, that was a 6-play drive, and it was a 33-yard field goal that ended it. And so that puts Northwestern up by 3.
Mr. Sparky, America's on-time electrician. Been a sponsor of these high school football broadcasts on the CW21 for all 7 years we've been doing this. Here's a deep kick. It's going to be called at the 1-yard line. Returned by South Florence. The last one was kicked out of the end zone, and a big return by number 0 for South Florence, and that is Samaj Parker. Parker on a big return out to the 37, call it the 38-yard line.
And that was a good return. And I tell you, he hit it up there, and there were people flying by him because he hit the seam in a hurry.
39 is where they're going to give him the return. So that's a 38-yard return for Samaj Parker. Caught it at the 1-yard line.
But that kicker's got a good leg on him, I can tell you that.
Yeah, boy. And right up the middle, they give it to Gage, or make that Gabe McLaughlin, and we've got another flag. But that's been a problem for South Florence in the first 3 games.
And I want to tell you this about the officiating crew. We have referee Jeff Cockrell, linesman Jeffrey Nettles, line judge Darrell Jackson, back judge Wade Cox, and umpire Keith Hagnall. And I can tell you that is an all-star crew right there. I would expect that they're going to do a great job all night, make good decisions, because when I recognize the names, and I've been out of it for 5 years, then I know they're good ones.
That's an experienced crowd, no question about it.
They sent the A-team to this game.
They basically picked up the flag and moved the football ahead a yard, so it's 2nd down and 1, but now we've got a flag before the ball is snapped from the side judge. Boy, I hope we don't have, because it's going to be against Northwestern lining up in the neutral zone.
Just lining up in the neutral zone. And all you've seen so far, the kind of penalties that have been called are just nerves as much as anything. Kids want to get close to the ball. They want to get a good start, and those kind of things happen.
So it's 1st and 10, now in Northwestern territory for the first time. Man in motion is Bruce Thompson. They hand off to Gage McLaughlin up the middle, and McLaughlin picks up about 4 across the 45 to the 40. We'll call it the 43, so they'll give him a 5-yard pickup.
And one guy that we don't see in the statistics very often, but he's an important player for them, is Bruce Thompson, number 11.
He's good.
He is the H-back.
Yep.
And basically, they're going to give him the ball every now and then, but he does a great job of doing what a pulling guard would typically do.
Samaj Parker, Bruce Thompson, Ben Tyner, and Jayon Perkins are all college football players. There's no doubt about it. Out of the pistol, single back set. They give it off to Gage McLaughlin again, and McLaughlin picks up 4 more, close to the 1st down, inside the 40, so it'll be 3rd down and 1.
And this is exactly what Drew Marlowe told me he wanted to be able to do. Now, the challenge is to do it the length of the field and then continue to do it. But right now they're having their way up front. They're pushing Northwestern around a little bit up front and kind of minimizing the speed on the back end of their defense.
They're using Miles Hudson and Ethan Cash, their 2 big offensive linemen, to push the pile, and it's 3rd and 1, possession down for South Florence, and I think Coach Marlowe wants to call timeout to make sure they know what they're doing here.
And I can tell you they had 6 hands on the line on defense.
We'll take one with them with just about 8 minutes, or no, 6.5 minutes. I can't see the score.
To go in the quarter,
6.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. It is Northwestern 3-0 on the Friday Night Rivals, presented by Conway Medical Center and Mr. Sparky.
DIY? How about DDIY? Don't do it yourself. Leave it to the professionals. Benjamin Franklin is your plumbing expert. We can take the hassle out of your home's plumbing. We can handle whole house repipes, unclogging your drains, installing water heaters, and help with any natural gas or inspections. And we're always there for you 24 hours a day. Benjamin Franklin is your punctual plumber. If there's any delay, it's you we pay.
Robison Community College, your source for higher education and short-term training needs. Offering accounting, basic law enforcement training, cosmetology, criminal justice, cybersecurity, electrical systems, EMS, HVAC, mechatronics, medical office administration, respiratory therapy, radiography, university transfer, artificial intelligence, welding, and more. Online and face-to-face instruction available. Learn more at robison.edu.
Aprende inglés gratis en RCC.
Back at Bruin Stadium on the campus at South Florence High School. South Florence went 3 and out on their first possession. Northwestern took it over at the 33-yard line, only gained 10 yards, ended up kicking a 33-yard field goal. Now South Florence is on the move in their second possession, doing what they wanted to do, move the football on the ground.
Moving on the ground and eat the clock up. They want to give these guys as few snaps as they can.
South Florence 3rd down and 1 at the Northwestern 38-yard line. And now we have a second South Florence timeout, and Drew Marlowe is reading them the riot act. He is upset. I think they came out in an alignment he wasn't familiar with.
I'm going to tell you how they lined up. They lined up with 12 daggone players.
Oh, yeah.
So that was a smart timeout.
That was a great
part.
timeout. I think you're right about that, Coach.
But, you know, it surprises me. It surprises me that Drew can count to 12 because, you know, he is from Sumter.
Sumter. All right, now. Hey,
I just say that because they used to beat our tail a lot of times.
I know, and I hate that. But, Coach, I wanted to say to you, to Donald Smith, our director, Travis, who's directing tonight, Paul Gable, and all of our Lucky Dog Television Productions crew, TV 15 people, all the support that you guys gave me over the past few weeks, knowing that my voice situation was a mystery. And I went down on Wednesday to North Charleston and got looked at by the otolaryngologist, and they gave me they ran a camera into my head and they saw nothing. So
understandable.
So everything is good. And goodness gracious, South Florence.
And they stopped them cold, and I think there's a tough call right here. Drew's got at midfield, he's got that, and I think I'm going to punt that and put them on a long field.
You think?
Hate to say that.
Is that what you would do?
I think so.
Even with the running back and
quarterback. Well, they've been
that
running it, but they just got sacked for a 2 yards loss. I think you're going to see Jackson punt it out of here, even though out of this formation, he could run the football, and he does.
Messiah Jackson is the punter, and he is going to take the snap
and pick
up the first down.
You know what, Alan? That's exactly what I would have done.
There you go, Coach. See, remember I told you 5 years ago you were going to be undefeated up here, Coach?
You got it,
I told you are undefeated.
I appreciate that.
You are undefeated, Coach. So 1st and 10 for South Florence inside the 35, and they drew Northwestern offside and are going to get another 5 yards added to that first down.
Yeah, and when you're running the football and you're thinking about consistently trying to grind it, those little 5-yard pluses are big.
So 1st and 5 for South Florence. But again, let me thank all of my friends for all the support you gave me, that my voice is back strong, and I'm so happy to be a part of this Friday Night Rivals crew. And they're going to go for the home run ball, and just a little bit out of reach. He got tied up at about the 5-yard line, and the ball was thrown where it was supposed to be thrown, but there was a little tangling.
A little bit of hands
5.
going. And it's tough. And what Northwestern is going to do defensively, they're going to base with a 4-man front. They'll have multiple looks on defense, but their coverage is primarily going to be man-to-man and what we call man-free, which means they're manned underneath all across, but they got a free safety running around free back there trying to break on the football. Now, their defensive line is basically new in 24. They're talented, but they're new. And they're going to mostly play cover 2, cover 3, and some match.
Empty backfield. Quarterback's going to keep it himself. Messiah Jackson maybe first down again for South Florence. Inside the 25, it is. Move the chains. It's going to be 1st and 10 from inside the 20. Yeah, move the chains.
Well, and
that was a 6-yard pickup.
And by the way, they're using Watkins a good bit off the edge and in the seam. If you'll see, they've got him lined up at a linebacker position. Now, he is 6'4" and 205 or so he can certainly play in there.
All right, single setback, offset to the right. Messiah Jackson takes the snap, hands off. He's got his big man, Cameron James, for the run inside the 15, close to the 10-yard line. But do we have a penalty down? Did you say, Paul?
I don't see
penalty?
anything.
No, okay. I was listening to Paul in my headset, but it's the Robinson Community College red zone that South Florence has reached. Now inside the 15 to the 14. It is 2nd down and 1, 9-yard pickup on the play.
And they're going to put pressure on the ball from here all the way down.
Messiah hands off to James. James pulls his man close to the 5. Another first down. The Myrtle Beach Hyundai first down in the Robinson Community College red zone is going to be 1st and goal from the 5-yard line.
And McLaughlin goes in at tailback, so I would expect you're going to see Messiah take the ball in here. That's my guess.
We'll call it the 6. 1st and goal, and you're right, Coach. Messiah is going to keep it, and he's got a lane to the house. He finds it. Touchdown, South Florence.
That was a heck of a drive. You got to give it to them. They did exactly what they're trying to do. How many plays, Paul? That was an 8-play touchdown.
For your Hope Health touchdown. Your health begins here.
And that was a 10-play drive, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered. And, again, they're in pretty good shape right now. This is an important extra point because every point in a game like this is going to matter.
Another left-footed kicker. I told you, I think we've seen one all 3 weeks this year, and he splits the pipes for the PAT, and it's 7-3. South Florence at home over the defending 5-2A state champions. We're back for more of the Friday Night Rivals presented by Conway Medical Center and Mr. Sparky.
At HTC, we're here to keep you connected, here to help you work and play better from home. And most importantly, here with HTC Smart Wi-Fi, providing a safe, secure, and reliable fiber optic connection. We're HTC, and we're here for you, so you can be there for all of life's best moments. Stay better connected. Build closer connections. Connect with HTC Internet. HTC, here to connect.
Hi, I'm Lenore Sellers, South Carolina football quarterback. In football, making the right call can mean the difference between winning and losing the game. Your healthcare is no different. With multiple locations throughout the state, Hope Health offers convenient, expert primary and specialty care. Make the right call and become a patient of Hope Health today. To learn more, visit hope-health.org. That's hope-health.org.
SFA.
Back at the Bruins Stadium, and one incomplete pass is all the Bruins had on that drive, Coach. It started at their own 39-yard line, and they take the lead on their second possession.
Yeah, and so far I've seen both teams play this out as was expected and as the coaches talked about. Paige Wofford told me explicitly they're going to try to push the ball down the field. They're going to try to keep it rolling. They're going to try to involve their wideouts. Drew told me we're going to try to use up the clock. We're going to try to take some time to get in the end zone. We're going to try to run it because their best players are in the secondary. Let's let them make tackles.
Only 4:24 remaining in the first quarter, so South Florence used a bunch of clock, including a lot of yards on that drive to take the lead.
I didn't give that. That was a 10-play, 61-yard drive with a 6-yard touchdown run, but it took 4 minutes off the clock, 3:56 actually.
Here's a Mr. Sparky kickoff for South Florence now that they're in front. And the last time these two teams met, it was for a 4A state championship 2 years ago, which South Florence won. And from what I understand, it was oh my goodness, what a tackle by the South Florence coverage team.
I tell you what, they put it on his behind end. And, of course, that's a young man that is so explosive. And I thought that was Vance, but maybe not. I thought it was 3 Cameron Vance. It was what?
Whoever it was, I didn't get the number either, but
whoever it was, he knows.
Say, somebody needed to get the license on that Mack truck because he ran over that guy.
He certainly did.
And that state championship matchup between Northwestern and South Florence 2 years ago for the 4A title was the Lenoris Sellers coming out party.
Yes, it was. And, last year they actually played the first game of this 2-game series, and Northwestern beat them up there pretty solid.
And that is an impetus for going on to the state championship. They also lost to Summerville,
no doubt,
last year, and last week they paid Summerville back.
Now, this is where they're going to major. You saw the screens thrown outside real quick,
that was Cameron Vance.
That was simple screen, and every time Vance gets his hands on the ball, you better surround him. But nonetheless, what they want to do, they want to spread that ball out, get it out vertical quick, and then just make him miss the tackle. They got quads on the upfield position.
Empty backfield. That completion was to Cameron Vance, the Lafayette commit. That was a free football there for a second. And Will Wilson goes, gosh, I could have had that interception and be still running.
Yeah, and those are the kind of things that are going to happen in this game.
So it's 2nd down and 10.
I saw some movement there. I didn't think they picked it up. But again, they're going to throw out with a screen. Now, what
slip screen, 1st down for Northwestern. He's still on his feet. That's Cameron Vance again. Boy, he's shifty.
And Alan, what they're going to do with their screen game is they're basically not going to call that in the huddle. They're going to have 2 or 3 options on that, and they're looking for a soft shell in the coverage. And if they see it, they're going there right now with the football. And if you miss the tackle, you're in trouble.
Quay Mobley in the backfield, along with Xavier Means. He gives it off to Mobley. Mobley is hitting the backfield. He breaks the tackle. He picks up the 1st down and then slips and falls, or he may still be running.
Yeah, and that tackle should have happened in the backfield then, but Mobley's so daggone strong, he just kind of shook him off. And
he's got some broad shoulders, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
So 1st and 10 at the 31 of South Florence. Here's the snap. Off to Mobley again. Mobley right up the middle, breaks another tackle, picks up about 7. It'll be 2nd down and 3 inside the 25. So
and we
Mobley,
got a couple of exchanges on defense, and I think they're putting a little bit more weight in there just to kind of shore up the defensive line a little bit.
I think they got an extra DB in there too, and another chance at an interception. This pass a little bit tall, intended for Peyton Vining.
Yeah, and that ball came out like a rocket and went through the receiver's hands. And anytime you see those tip-ups, any defender behind them can get it.
It's actually John Spurgeon was the intended receiver. He's back as the 3rd member of that trips in the slot, and a 4th receiver is wide to the right. So empty backfield, 5 wide receivers, but they go to the short side, and he threw it behind the receiver, so it's going to be 4th down and 3.
Yeah, 4th and 3, and they look like they're keeping their offense on the field right here. Certainly their kicker's got the leg to kick it from there, but I think with 4th and 3, 4th and 3.5, they're going to go for it. And this is a big play for South Florence. If they can stop this and have another long field drive like they have, they're going to be out of the first half before long.
Twin receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Single setback. Here comes the heavy South Florence rush, but the quarterback's going to keep it. He's going to pick up the 1st down and maybe more. Touchdown for Northwestern. Quarterback Xavier Means broke, contained, and took it all the way from the 24-yard line.
And that's a tough spot. When you're playing against a team that throws the ball over the field, you got to decide, am I going to rush the quarterback or am I going to defend? And when you're playing man-to-man, which they were playing man under then, it looked like, you're not looking at the quarterback. You're looking at the guy you're covering.
Here's the swinging gate on the extra point. That's an old-school move there by Paige Wofford, the 4th-year head coach. This is his 4th season at Northwestern. The left-footed kicker. Both teams have southpaws kicking from the tee, and he splits the pipes, and it is now a 10-3 lead. And here is your Hope Health touchdown, Coach.
And you can see on this touchdown, basically the defenders were looking at their man and who they were covering. And so once he broke the front line, he really had a walk into the park for the end zone. That was an 8-play, 80-yard drive, 24-yard touchdown run out of Means. Took a minute, 53 seconds off the clock. Now, 8 plays is a lot for those guys, but they earned it on that drive.
I'm a little disappointed in the Northwestern crowd, although our director and producer, Donald Smith, says the crowd is still filing in from outside. The parking lot was almost full at 5:30 this afternoon.
Yeah, it was. And of course, now there's no room whatsoever on this side.
On the South Florida side.
And they don't – I expected a better travel group than what I'm seeing as well, Alan.
Yeah, it was an early start, too, 7:05, driving from Rock Hill, long time, so maybe about halftime we'll get a better crew. It's caught at the 1-yard line again. This is what happened. South Florence had it last time. It's Prue.
And I tell you what, I like the way Prue runs that ball up in there. He sticks his nose in there and gets everything that's available.
Samaj Parker, actually, instead of Prue on the return.
You set me up
I'm
on
sorry,
that,
Coach. I'm
but that's
sorry.
all right.
I got the wrong number. It was 0 instead of 3. 0 came in, and my director says that the parking lot is still being deluged. The line is all the way out, Highway 52.
Well, they better come on as much as they ran the ball in that last series. They better get in the gate.
They might miss half a game. So that's yeah.
Of course, when you're completing passes, one team's completing passes and the other team is running the football well, the game's going to go. It's going to flow.
There was a penalty on the return against the Bruins, so it's going to back up that return to the 15-yard line.
And they
so
got an 85-yard. Yep, an 85-yard field, which is a tough go.
Samaj Parker comes in late. He'll split wide to the right. And we've got a single setback, which is Cameron James. Single receiver to the left, one to the right. They fake to James, throw the play action across the middle. Was intended for Jayon Perkins, but it skips off his fingers, incomplete.
Yeah, and it looked like that was catchable, but it was hot.
Well, it was hot. It was.
And sometimes when you throw that hot ball across the middle, it's tough to get your hands on it.
10-7 lead for Northwestern as they take back the lead on that last drive. South Florence scored on their second drive. Northwestern has scored on both of their drives, but they started the first one only at the 33-yard line of the Bruins. So they have Thompson in motion, sets up as the H-back. They hand off. James up the middle. James carries for about 3, maybe 4.
And I tell you, Alan,
We'll give him 5 and call it 3rd and 5.
They got Tamarian Watkins up there, and he's playing – basically he's a defensive back, but he's playing at linebacker depth. And he's 6'4", 210 pounds or 200 pounds, and he's playing like a linebacker right now.
Boy, that nose tackle, Bronzier Nicholson, number 99. They don't list his height and weight. He's only a sophomore, but he looks like he's about 6'2", 3-something.
Oh, yeah.
3 heavy. And here's it. Single set back again. They go to James once. No, they throw it deep, and he's going to take it all the way. That's a touchdown for Jayon Perkins.
You better get in the end zone.
Yeah, he slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, that drives me crazy to see one slow down before they get in the end zone.
Boy, that is a Hope Health touchdown. But, Coach, we're going to have to see this Mr. Sparky
you can
replay.
see right here, great throw.
Play action.
And that missed tackle right there. And that's the one thing about a man-to-man defense. If you can get the ball a short catch on a slant route or a quick fade route, then you got the field because there's nobody back there. And what they've been doing, usually when they play man-free, Watkins is back there playing the free pass, but he's up in the linebacker's box. That's why Drew took that shot as a slant.
Messiah Jackson fooled me on that one, Coach. That play action worked perfect.
And it was a perfect call.
The only guy who knew that Jayon Perkins caught that ball was the man who was covering him, and he was too far behind.
Well, and in their defense, they're playing man-to-man, which means they're counting on the ball coming out in a hurry because they're pressuring the football. When they're playing man-to-man, they got another guy in the box that's putting pressure on the quarterback.
So South Florence retakes the lead, Coach.
Yeah, and they had a 2-play, 85-yard drive.
Yeah, boy.
An 80-yard touchdown pass took 58 seconds off the clock. So this game so far has panned out to be exactly what we expected.
I was going to say, Coach, has it not turned out to be exactly what we thought it was going to be? Number 1 5A versus number 1 4A. And the two teams that are defending state champions.
Yeah, and I think what you're going to see a mistake out of somebody have a big impact on this game.
So left-footed kicker Coy Joyner is on to make the ensuing kickoff. He kicks it high. It's coming up a little bit short. Caught at the 5-yard line. Brought out to the 10, 15, 20. He is hit and then gang tackled at around the 23.
You know, the thing that I've noticed already with South Florence in the two games that we've covered them, their kickoff coverage has been flawless in the two games that we've seen. They're getting good height on the kick. The kicker, that's where kickoff coverage starts with that kicker. He's getting good height and good depth, and then they're doing a great job keep staying in their lanes coming down.
All right, the Trojans, defending state 5-2A champions. With the football, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Single setback. Quarterback keeps it himself on the Q counter. He's going to get to the 30. Penalty flags are down.
And that's going to be holding. We've got another penalty coming out of the back end, and that could be against anybody. You got holding on that first one, so we'll see if these don't wipe one another out.
Yeah, 2 hankies are down, and Xavier Means.
All right, let's see what we got. Again, we got a great officiating crew.
The referee first says holding, as you said, Coach, and maybe both officials saw the hold, so they both threw the penalty flag.
Well, it would surprise me if 2 officials ever saw the same thing.
Same thing?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I always loved officials when they called a flag on the other team.
The other team, right.
Yeah.
As long as they called it on the other team. It's 1st and 12 because the penalty was worked from the spot of the foul. And here's a pass across the middle. It's caught.
It's going to be a second down.
The second down and about, just call it 4. It was outside the 30 at the 31. Hey, thank you to Conway Medical Center for donating $500 each week to the host school. In total, our local schools will receive over $5,000. All right, here's the snap. Right there, a little short across the middle pass. It's caught by their best receiver, Cameron Vance. He picks up the first down. They move the chains all the way out to close to midfield.
And basically what the quarterback was doing then was looking down the field. Xavier was going to take something on the slant route if he had it, and then he had Vance crossing. Now, there goes your quick screen outside.
Bubble screen.
And, boy,
to the
they
near.
did a great job covering that.
Yeah,
that
really
is
did.
tough out there. And basically, if you get one good block out there, you got a chance to score.
When I was at Marshall, that was the play they ran to Randy Moss.
Oh, if I had
time.
Randy Moss, I'd have run it too.
Into the first quarter, South Florence leads it by a score of 14-10 over Northwestern. We got a great one here, folks. Don't go anywhere. This is the Friday Night Rivals presented by Conway Medical Center and Mr. Sparky on CW21.
Clogged toilets? Is your kitchen sink backed up? Do you have a leaking faucet? Call the experts at Benjamin Franklin Plumbing and let us help with any of your plumbing problems. We repair leaky or broken water heaters, fix frozen pipes, unclog sewer lines, and even repair garbage disposals. We're here for you 24 hours a day, and we still don't charge to come out during regular business hours. Benjamin Franklin is your punctual plumber. If there's any delay, it's you we pay.
Greatness is measured in the mornings you wake up ready to move, in the moments you choose motion over stillness, in every single time you refuse to sit this one out. That's why CMC Orthopedics has 5 locations across the county and sees walk-in patients every day. It's why the Chanticleers trust us with their dreams as the premier orthopedic provider of CCU athletics. Greatness keeps moving, and CMC Orthopedics keeps you there.
Hey, Mommy!
life can get a little hectic, and sometimes things slip through the cracks. But when life overflows, A&I is ready to step in. Our team acts fast to restore your home and bring peace back to your life. You can rely on A&I when life overflows.
The all-new 2026 Hyundai Palisade has finally arrived. The most anticipated 2026 vehicle is here at Myrtle Beach Hyundai. The Palisade is built for comfort and style, whether you're taking the family out to dinner or on a road trip for vacation. The Palisade is the vehicle you owe yourself to get you there. The latest tech to keep you connected and safety features to protect your precious cargo. New Palisades are arriving daily, and we're ready to show you this exciting new vehicle.
It doesn't matter who your team is, you're always a winner with Myrtle Beach Hyundai.
Watch ABC 15 Sports for scores, highlights, and much more.
Back at Bruin Stadium on the campus of South Florence High School. And, Coach, first week overreactions of college football. What do you think?
Well, I think, first of all, they're giving my man at Alabama such a hard time. And,
yes,
you know,
they
hey,
are.
give the man a daggone break. I mean, he's following Nick Saban, and you expect there to be a little bit of downtime before he gets things like he wants them. And then, secondly, South Carolina now is going to win the national championship, and Clemson's not even going to be in the ACC title.
Man, you should be my co-host in the morning, Coach. Those are two really good overreaction takes. On 2nd down and 8, South Florence on the stop. Yeah, I got to get you on my show more often.
No,
Coach.
no,
Yes,
you talk
yes,
too
I
much
do.
trash.
I just talk too much. That's the problem. What did I tell you? That my doctor told me the best suggestion was to drink more water and shut up. Those are the
This
best.
is a big down right here, Alan. Midfield, and they got 3rd and 7. Of course, they're going to throw the ball right here. And the thing that you might want to look for, I think that there's a good chance that Means is going to sit in there, and if things spread out and they overcover and he finds a lane, he's going to take it. And he's dangerous running the football. We've already seen that.
Already seen that touchdown by Means earlier. This is an official timeout. South Florence has taken 2 already, but it's 3rd, and we'll call it a long 7 inside the 50 at about the 48 for Northwestern, down 14-10 right now. And the referee goes to discuss the situation with Paige Wofford, the head coach at Northwestern. In his 3rd year, Paige is a 2-time state champion, 60-15 in his career.
Yeah, and, speaking of Paige, I do know that his first coaching job was at Carolina High School, from there Pickens High School, from there Wando High School, Hanahan High School, Northwestern High School as an assistant, then Daniel High School as an assistant, and then back to Northwestern as a head coach. So he's paid his dues.
He has paid his dues, no doubt. Here's a big play to the South Florence defense. Single setback, play action, quarterback Q, keeper, gains 2 yards, but it's not enough. It's going to be 4th and long.
And what are you going to do here? It's not long. It's about 5 yards, Alan. What are you going to do here? Are you going to put them on a long field, or are you going to go for it at midfield?
I'm going for it. If I got a quarterback like that guy.
You daggum crazy then, because they fixing to I'd go for it too, Alan.
There you go, Coach. You made the right call, Coach. You absolutely made the right call, because Northwestern picks up the 1st down.
And was that – no, that wasn't Vance with the ball.
That was Peyton
Vining.
Yeah.
And he just – again, that crosser seems to be eating them up. And what's happening, they got a little bit of time. They're getting down the field, and the crosser is underneath.
Means gets rid of the football in a hurry when he throws it. If he doesn't throw it, like here, he takes his time and finds a seam, and he's close to another Northwestern 1st down.
Yeah, and, I've seen a lot of hands on him, and he's not coming down, so he's a pretty strong runner.
So Means is going to be a little bit short, I believe, maybe a yard.
Yeah.
2nd down and 1 inside the 25. We're getting close to the Robinson Community College red zone.
And he's got a lot to choose from in the wideout position.
Second and 1 from the 23. He hands off to Quay Mobley, and Mobley gets the first down to the 26. Make it to 21. Excuse me, the 21. And that's where the nose of the football is actually going to be on the 20. So it's 1st and 10 inside the Robinson Community College red zone at the 20. Community College from Robinson, from the red zone to the real world. And here's a quarterback handoff to Quay Mobley. And Mobley gets another 12-yard pickup inside the 10. It's going to be 1st and goal.
And this is where really Northwestern struggled last time when they got down that close. I think South Florence began to bring people off the edge in the middle and the sideline, and so it made it a little more difficult for them. So we'll see if they do that here or they continue to try to throw the ball.
Twins right and left. Single setback is Mobley. Means out of the pistol. Takes the snap. Quick throw again. Is caught at the 5. The tackle is not made, and he falls into the end zone, but
it's a touchdown.
Football came out, but it is a touchdown for Northwestern.
And it came out once he crossed the plane, it looked like, from up here. If we could see that on the replay, I think you'll see it.
David Flood was the receiver.
Yeah, and they're just going to kick that point. You can see it right here on the replay. Hopefully, yeah, there we go. Oh, I ain't sure about
that's
that one,
what I
Big
said,
Al.
Coach. It got across the goal line.
I ain't sure about that. Ball was loose when it.
Right.
He did not get that across the goal line.
I
call for a review. Can we get a review on that out of the box?
High school football, we don't have no reviews, Coach. Unfortunately,
that ball came out, bro.
See, I thought it did too. I thought, did he complete the play?
Let's see that one more time.
If we can, another CMC
and slow
replay.
that baby down. Slow that baby down.
We're having trouble with our monitor up here. But it's all right.
Here you're going to see it right here. Watch this. Mm-hmm. Watch him.
He didn't go down there.
No,
He's
he
not
didn't go down.
But did he complete the play?
Well, they sped it up at the wrong time. Go back a little bit.
I don't know. I just don't know. I can't. We can't tell.
That ball is out there.
Decisively. Well, maybe he did get it across the line, and it came out when the ball hit the ground.
Yeah, that would be.
That was the right call, Coach.
Regardless, it was a 9-play, 76-yard drive, a 9-yard touchdown pass, took 3 minutes off the clock. That was an impressive drive.
Yes, it was, and that was the right call. The ball hit the ground.
Yes.
As it came out.
Initially, when I saw it, it didn't look that way.
Me too. I didn't think it was all the way across the goal line when it came off, but it appears on the replay.
And that's why it's good to have the A team in a game like this.
No question. So a 17-14 lead now for Northwestern, and this one's going to be kicked out of bounds and brought out to the 25.
And that's a compliment to the return guys right there because they've been kicking to them and they've had success running it back. So he was going to put him on the edge there and try to get it around the 10, close to the sideline.
Now, again, if my memory serves, actually it's the 35-yard line. If you kick it out of bounds, it comes out to the 35.
Yes, you're correct.
So I couldn't remember whether it was the 25 or the 35 if you kick it out of bounds. But that's, I think, is a bad move.
Well,
giving him the ball with that good a field position.
Well, but he wasn't trying to kick it out of bounds. What he was trying to do was put it between the hash, around between the 5 and 10-yard line, because he's got the kind of accuracy and leg to be able to do that. But he kicked it just a little bit wide.
South Florence in the dark blue, the white helmets, light blue numbers, white trim. Thompson in motion. He changes directions. They give off to McLaughlin, and McLaughlin only carries for maybe a yard. Nope, they're going to say he was down at the line of scrimmage. No, now are they going to back up? I don't think they know where they want to mark it.
Yeah, there seems to be some confusion out there, and I'm not sure about what. Didn't look confusing.
I don't see any flags on the field. But we'll wait until they mark the football. There's 9:54 to play in the first half, and there is going to be a penalty. I don't see the flag. It must be behind one of the players on the sideline.
It was a procedure field, and you're probably right, Alan. It was probably on this sideline. And
I just don't see the flag
in front of the body.
Yeah, there's human beings
when you're
in front.
when you're a running football team, which they are tonight for sure, you don't need to have to get 15.
Yeah, 1st and 15 from the 30. Even though it's good field position, 15 yards is hard to get against the number 1 ranked team in the state. And this is going to be a lot harder now because the quarterback goes down with huge plays.
Yeah, by Kobe Neely, and he just basically looked untouched then when he came across. And that looked like an outside zone that way, which looks like somebody just whiffed.
And they're going to say it was only a 5-yard loss. That's being generous for South Florence.
I was going to use
4-yard
the same word.
loss. Yeah.
But 17 when you're running a football team is a long way, brother.
Yeah. Actually, they only counted it as a 3-yard loss, so we'll basically call it 2nd down and 18 with an empty backfield. 3 receivers. He's looking deep. He's directing traffic. Now he goes to the single coverage. Man, and was it intercepted? No, incomplete.
No, it was incomplete.
Incomplete pass. Great coverage by a Marion Coleman.
Yeah, and you know the key here, again, they're playing man-to-man coverage, and so you can't leave that ball short on man-to-man coverage. You got to throw it where either we catch it or nobody does.
Big down here for South Florence, 3rd and 18.
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge on this down is to do – I'm going to be conservative down here, and I'm going to get something. I want to get some yardage, but it would be more important to get a little bit of yardage and then put them on and flip the field rather than end up, in a very challenging play.
So you're reverting back to your ground Chuck days.
Absolutely.
Than your Air Jordan
Absolutely.
days. Right?
And we got a timeout here by Messiah Jackson.
Okay. 17-14, the lead for the visiting team here in Flowtown. It's the Friday Night Rivals presented by Conway Medical Center on CW21.
Do what?
Sometimes unwanted guests show up unannounced and they refuse to leave. They make themselves at home, making life uncomfortable. But that's when you call A&I to show that unwanted guest the door and keep them from coming back. You can rely on A&I to kick mold out for good.
This season, ABC 15 Sports has added a little help to ensure that the End Zone remains the #1 football show on Friday night. Just drag the clip onto the timeline. So let's go to our game of the week. Who shot these highlights?
Catch the End Zone every Friday night starting at 11:20, only on ABC 15 News.
Back at South Florence High School, Bruins Stadium, as the Bruins trail Northwestern. Bruins coming in, again, ranked #1 in 4A in the media poll, the South Carolina media poll, #3 in the overall statewide poll. So, so try that out on for size. And, again, Northwestern ranked #1. Hey, in the fourth quarter of tonight's game, we'll be highlighting the school bus stop of the game. Remember, the law in every state requires drivers to stop for a school bus while the stop arm is out and the red lights are flashing.
No, Messiah, get rid of them.
Oh, Messiah Jackson retreated instead of attacking and lost even more yardage.
Yeah,
and puts South Florence in a
well, they're in a
huge
long
hole.
yard, yeah, and I think Messiah then probably should have given up on that play sooner than he did, and basically they're coming after this one.
Actually, a penalty was called against South Florence for a hold, and Northwestern declines the penalty, so to force South Florence to punt deep in their own end of the field.
That was a very, very difficult series for South Florence. It really put them in a bind. They're looking at 4th and 30. And they got to punt to a daggum good return guy, but they got to make sure they block before they get out of there because
line drive is actually going to be okay for South Florence.
Absolutely. That probably worked them well.
It really did. It forced the return man, Amarian Coleman, to pick it up on the bounce and run to the sideline and only return it for about 3 yards. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 47 for Northwestern.
And I think the biggest concern if you're coaching defense at South Florence is that they have so many guys that are so dangerous in space. And when you're punting the ball, kicking the ball, you put them in space.
And we did confirm that timeout that was called before the punt or the third down play by South Florence was a Bruin timeout. And
great breakup.
Good
Great
defensive.
breakup. Oh, no, you're not.
You're kidding me.
That
is not a penalty.
Wow.
They're going to call a pass interference.
Maybe not. Maybe he just realizes that how stupid that was.
They're going to call pass interference against Will Wilson.
Go back and let's see that.
That is not. He had not caught it. This is a Conway Medical Center timeout. And he had touched the ball.
Are you kidding me?
Caught it.
That is inserting yourself in the ball game.
He almost
caught
it.
That is inserting yourself in the ball game. And it irritates the pee out of me to see an official insert themselves into a ball game on a play like that.
John Quiz Johnson is going to be called for the PA, or the PI, excuse me. And that the receiver almost caught the ball. Came down with it before he was hit by the receiver, and a 15-yard penalty is going to give the quarterback a chance to take it the distance from 32 yards away.
Thank you, Mr. Ref.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
Now,
I'll tell you what. I'm going to tell you right now, shut up. And I'm going to shut up. But that daggum makes me ill as a hornet.
Sorry, Coach. We're not rooting for anybody. I know you have a son that coaches on the team, but I'm not rooting for one side or the other. I just want to call the game as I see it. And that was not a pass interference against South Florence. Northwestern has extended the lead to 24-14. We'll calm down. We'll come back with the last few minutes of the first half as you watch the Friday night rivals on CW21.
Recycle right, South Carolina. Shredded paper can become litter if it's not properly recycled. In Horry County, shredded paper must be placed in clear plastic bags, securely tied and recycled with other recyclables. Taking these steps ensures your shredded paper isn't wasted. Visit www.solidwasteauthority.org or www.recyclerightsc.org for more info on how to recycle right, South Carolina.
At HTC, we're here to keep you connected, here to help you work and play better from home. And most importantly, here with HTC Smart Wi-Fi, providing a safe, secure, and reliable fiber optic connection. We're HTC, and we're here for you, so you can be there for all of life's best moments. Stay better connected. Build closer connections. Connect with HTC Internet. HTC, here to connect.
Back at Bruin Stadium on the campus of South Florence High School, where Northwestern, your defending state 5A Division II champions, extend their lead to 10 points over the South Florence Bruins. And, Coach, you have the numbers.
Yeah, that was a two-play drive, 47 yards, and a 32-yard touchdown pass. Very impressive. It took a minute and 31 seconds off the clock. And I tell you, this Northwestern crowd can score in a hurry now.
Yeah, well, you said that in the pregame, that they score 3 to 5 plays in on every drive. So they scored in 2 plays on that drive. You had a pass interference that moved the ball down to the 32, and then you had the quarterback, Xavier Means, take it on the ground 32 yards for the touchdown.
Yes, you did. And, I think that South Florence is very important that they answer here and keep the ball for some period of time. That ball's going to be down in the end zone.
Yeah, to kneel the ball down, son.
He doesn't have to in high school. If it crosses
that's
the goal
right.
line,
You're right.
It's dead.
Right. Once it crosses the goal line in high school football, it's a dead ball.
Yes.
It's down. So
now,
they
where you
bring it
get
out to
into
the
trouble
20.
is if you touch it in the playing field.
See, I was afraid that
and
he
it
might have.
And it goes in the end zone, and you don't pick it up yourself. If you pick it up, it's dead then. But if you don't, they can recover it for a touchdown.
Okay. See, you gave me something I did not know. I thought that if you touched it before it went into the end zone, you had to bring it out. But
No.
it goes in, and you can just touch it or pick it up, and it's dead. All right. Mr. Sparky is America's on-time electrician. After that Mr. Sparky kickoff, we've got a big play for South Florence on first down, starting at the 20.
And, and Alan, I tell you, I think what happens in a game like this when you're playing a team like Northwestern and they take the ball down and score in a hurry, you're tempted to try to do the same thing. And yet it's so important right now to play your game and do what you do best.
It's Cameron James for a 9-yard pickup, second down and 1 at the 29. Single setback. The college games we watched over last weekend, Coach, North Carolina and South Carolina just marched the football right down the field on their first drive as South Florence is going to push the pile. I don't know whether he got I think he did. I think the official is looking at the line at the 30 and says, move the sticks.
Yeah,
but you've told me in the past you can't judge a game by the first drive.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they look like gangbusters on those first drives for the Gamecocks and the Tar Heels. And then Gamecocks ended up holding on, and Tar Heels got blowed out.
Yeah, and you judge it by that first drive because a lot of times the defense, the offense is filling the other one out. And they may have some misconceptions that are clearly going to be taken care of. We got a flag down in the backfield. I think that's going to be a motion flag.
There was a whole bunch of movement before the snap of the football. It's no gain on the play, but let's go down to the field to our friend Rodney Berry with the principal. It is time for the Educator Spotlight.
Hey, guys, I'm still trying to get over that last penalty, but I'm joined again by AD Mr. Slaughter. You guys have elevated sports tremendously in South Florence, but so much more to the picture. Speak a little bit academically.
Yeah, so last year we were voted by the South Carolina Association of School Administrators as a Palmetto's finest school for the high school division. Something we're very proud of, put a lot of work into it. And our school administration is phenomenal. High expectations in the classroom for all of our students, including our student athletes. So we're just really proud of the fact that we're a Palmetto's finest school.
Guys, they're building leaders here in South Florence. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Rodney. Appreciate that. South Florence keeps shooting themselves in the backside with
do.
these penalties.
And they're putting themselves behind the sticks. And we've had a lot of just little namby-pamby penalties. But, again, they've been most successful when they've stuck it right at them. And yet this game is slowly turning just a bit, Alan. So I think it's imperative that South Florence not give these guys the ball back on the short field.
Yeah, they're only down 10 points, but it feels like they're way further behind them.
Yeah, it feels like it's turning.
So it's first and 7, or make that second and 17. They throw the quick slant. It's caught, but only to the 25, back to the original line of scrimmage, or call it the 30, excuse me.
Yeah, but it's a much more doable down
manageable
here with 39 than they were, in second and 16 or so?
Yeah, second and 17 makes it third and 9. Yeah, much more manageable.
And, of course, now they're going to have to throw the ball, and Paige Wofford told me many times that the best part of their football team was their secondary.
Well, I love the slant pattern, and they use that one to perfection. Messiah Jackson in the backfield. Cameron James to his right. He throws it to James out to the 35, but it's not nearly enough for a first down.
Yeah.
It's going to bring up 4th and long.
Yeah, and that was his check down then. He wanted to go down the field with it, but he had too much pressure to wait, and so he had to go to his check down then.
So 4th down and 7 from about the 34.
And the luxury here is that you got your quarterback in there as a punter. And so you can put a little pressure on their return team, make them keep some guys in. Of course, now he runs them on real quick, and he's going to try to get it out of here in a hurry.
Yeah, Northwestern runs on their defense, too. They were prepared for that quick change. And here's Messiah Jackson. Good kick this time. He got a hold of that one, and it takes a South Florence roll out of bounds at around the 32-yard line.
And, you know, that's what South Florence wanted to accomplish in, because they were backed up, and they needed to put Northwestern on a longer field, and I think they accomplished that. They put them down around the 26-yard line, and if Northwestern can take this ball and go down the field before the half, they're going to put South in a bind.
Big bind, no question about it. Carolina Forest is leading New Hanover 20-0 at halftime of their game in Wilmington. Sumter, just a 2-point lead over Myrtle Beach right now, 15-13. In the college game, Louisville is trailing James Madison, who laid 50 on the Tar Heels last year. But you know I loved every minute of it. And Lucy Beckham and St. James are even. No score in that one for West Brunswick North. Myrtle Beach, same deal. May River is leading Lake City 14-8. Socastee, here's a little bit of a surprise, 14-0 over Aner. That one's at Socastee at the Braves reservation. Conway trailing Cheraw 7-3. Georgetown and Johnsonville, no score. Andrews, Carvers Bay, no score. Same deal for Green Sea and Mullins. Pretty much no score everywhere else, as we are 24-14 here at South Florence, as the defending 4A state champs taking on the defending 5A Division II state champs. Coach Drew Marlowe's team and Paige Wofford. Trojans have it back. Quick passing game, completion to the 40, the 50, 45, 40. And, man,
you cannot miss that tackle. And he came up and missed a tackle, which would have been a 3 to 4 yard gain, and that's what makes those receivers so dangerous. If you miss one, they're going to get it down the field.
Does Xavier Means get the ball out of his hands quicker than most quarterbacks you've ever seen?
Well, he does get it out, and yet their tempo is such that they're trying to get it out right now.
Well, he does.
And they're throwing a lot of wide screens, and what they're doing is looking at your matchups outside.
This time he runs quarterback draw and gets taken down after a 3-yard run to the far side of the field. So that is the boundary side on the right hash. Twin receivers to the field side, 2 to the boundary side. Look to the sideline. Xavier Means has Quay Mobley in the backfield with him. In the slot to the far side is Lafayette commit Cameron Vance. That's who he's looked for a lot tonight. Gives it to the running back. Running back picks up the first down. Breaks a couple of tackles across the 25, down to the 21. Hard to bring down.
Yeah, and I saw some missed tackles at the line of scrimmage that if you make them, you got a good play. But those Northwestern backs and receivers are shifty. They're really good in space.
Good up front as well. Bo Chumley. Like that name. Chumley. And he's a big one. 6'5", 245. Elijah Profiter, Noah McCoy, Nasir Hanna, and Chris Coleman, who is a Charleston Southern commit, is on the right side tackle. And here's a quarterback run again to the near side left inside the 10 in the Robinson Community College red zone. It's going to be 1st and goal for Northwestern. And when I was preparing for this week's game, Coach, I had to get my information from some friends who work in Rock Hill, and they told me that Paige Wofford is not just competitive, he's uber competitive. So winning a couple of state championships will give you that kind of attitude. And here's a carry inside the 5, so it's going to be 2nd and goal. That carry was by Nigel Smith, senior tailback.
I'm going to tell you something. I don't care how much you've won, how much you've lost. There's professional courtesy and there's unprofessional courtesy, and I'm going to leave it right there.
Thank you, Coach. Wide receivers right and left.
Because I know if I let you have that conversation, you're going to be disbarred next week.
No. Listen, I've been a little bit everywhere, Coach. It should have been intercepted, and it's a touchdown.
Those are opportunities.
Oh, my goodness.
You make the play, and you don't, and them cats are going to catch it. Can we see that again?
Yeah, we're going to have to get a
we got to see that one again.
Replay on this one. Could have been an interception by Willie Kennedy, but instead it's a touchdown by Cameron Vance.
I tell you, Vance is impressive, is he not?
Is. He's very impressive. And he's not very big. Only 5'8", 165 pounds.
Yeah, but when you see a guy like that going to college, regardless of the size, that size, you know he's got some wheels.
Well, the southpaw splits the pipes again, and it's now a 31-14 game over South Florence. This is going to things might get out of hand in a hurry here.
Well, they very well may, but I think you're going to see South Florence try to take this ball and be very deliberate going down the field, and what they've got to do is quit shooting themselves in the foot.
Right. Too many penalties.
They've had some inopportune penalties, and when you're a running team and you're looking at 2nd and 15, you put yourself in a bind. So they got to help themselves.
Mr. Sparky kickoff coming up. I want to thank Myrtle Beach Hyundai. Again, remember, no games, no gimmicks, just good deals at Myrtle Beach Hyundai. And Mr. Sparky is America's on-time electrician. That was a Hope Health touchdown for Northwestern. Hope Health, your health begins here. And another kickoff by Northwestern with a 3-score lead now. And this is a very deep kick into the end zone. Going to be an automatic touchback, and South Florence will take it over 1st and 10 at the 20.
And, Alan, I've been impressed with both kickers. I think both of them have live legs and pretty good placement.
I just don't know how many left-footed kickers I've seen over the years, and we've seen one in every one of our 3 games this year.
Yeah, it seems like there are more and more. And
both of these teams have left-footed kickers. What do you got on the stats?
That was a 6-play, 74-yard drive, 5-yard touchdown pass, took 2 minutes off the clock. And I think there again, that was a big drive for Northwestern. How South Florence responds here is going to be important. And that's a good way to do it.
McLaughlin for a first down, 11-yard pickup to the 31.
And that's where they've had their success, between the tackles, right at them. Now, what Northwestern's going to do, they're smart enough to look at the clock, know what kind of time you got left. Then they know they don't have but 2 minutes on the clock, so it's going to be hard to march it down the field on the ground altogether unless they can pick up chunks.
We'll call it 1st and 10 at the 32, 12-yard pickup, empty backfield. Messiah Jackson fires one across the middle. A little skinny post at the 40. It's going to be 2 yards short, but it's 2nd down and only 2. So
now, if you notice too, they've had. Hold on just a minute. Let me see what they get right here. If they get that first down, which is very close. I think they
pushed
did
the pile across the 32, make it the 42 to the 43. That should be enough for a first down.
And the clock is a big deal right now. We're looking at a minute 25, Alan, and I think that even getting a field goal out of this would be important, but.
Oh, they're back. Are they backing them up again? More South Florence penalties.
Well, they're shooting themselves in the foot. There's no question about it.
Gosh.
And they've got to. He's got to get them in there at halftime, and Drew will do a great job with this because he handles his kids well, and just calm them down and say, hey, if we're going to get back in this ball game, we can't shoot ourselves in the daggum foot.
Yeah, if I'm him, I'm taking some long look at these guys, saying, "Look, we can't beat ourselves. This team is too good for you to give them yardage like that."
Well, and yet you got to remember it's early in the season. You got to remember your kids are going to make mistakes, and yet you just have to limit those things. You're going to make them. You're going to do some inopportune things, but you can't keep shooting yourself in the foot every drive, and they've done that thus far.
Well, now it's going to be one against Northwestern, so they're going to give them the first down.
And that was a 15-yarder, it looks like.
Yeah.
Well, I think South Florence is getting 3 5-yard penalties. Northwestern
did not see what that penalty was.
It's a 15-yarder, so it balances itself out.
Out to the 49, 1st and 10 for South Florence. Run.
Wow, that was
caught,
a great.
But I don't know if they
yes,
did get a
he
foot
did.
down.
That was a great throw and catch.
Parker
a great throw
got the
and catch.
catch at the 40 of Northwestern.
And I'd like to see that because he drug his feet on that one. It was pretty. Now we're looking at 1:10 left on the clock.
Plenty of time. Plenty of time.
It's
at the
time.
39.
It's time if you don't leave the clock running.
Samaj Parker in motion to the left. Twin receivers that way. Quarterback rolls that way. Throws deep into single coverage. And I believe it's incomplete.
It's incomplete. That was good coverage.
Nice coverage. Yep.
They were playing man-free, and they had double coverage on the inside receiver, and that was Joshua Singleton, who is a Charleston Southern commit, playing defense on that one.
Yeah, that's your guy. And so South Florence, they're trying to throw the ball now after establishing the run early, but Northwestern has taken a 3-score lead, so now you've got to kind of ramp up the offense.
And we're looking at 1:01 on the clock, and so they're going to have to throw it down the field whether they want to or not.
Another slant pattern hit him right in the hands, and our J1 Perkins dropped it.
Yeah, that was a well-thrown ball, but it had some heat on it.
But he has thrown some steamers tonight.
Yeah, and I tell you, those hard balls are hard to catch sometimes, especially when you know somebody's bearing down on your behind.
Jayon Perkins, who played last season at West Florence, now at South Florence, the 6'2", 200-pound junior, make that senior, is going to have some opportunities to play on Saturday next year. They're going to go deep. They got a man. He's open, but he's going to be overthrown.
Well, and the problem there is he had to get the ball out before he wanted to.
Yeah.
And you got to give a lot of credit there to Northwestern. But that was Ben Tyner on the reception. It was just overthrown a little bit. And, again, he had somebody in his face. Now, we're looking at 52 seconds on the clock. And what do you do right here? I think you throw it on down there again, baby.
Yeah. Samaj Parker, I'm sorry, I gave you the wrong number, Coach. Instead of 9, it was 0. Samaj Parker was the intended receiver.
Those jerseys are a little tough to see sometimes.
Tough to
with
tell
that
when
baby blue on that dark blue.
We're a long way away. Now, Jayon Perkins, who is in the slot, is easy to see, number 1. But they flip it out to Cameron James, who just runs out of bounds on 4th down.
And why he ran out of bounds then, I don't know, because you want to eat that clock up. Because I'm going to tell you something. These guys can do a whole lot with 48 seconds.
48 seconds? Yeah.
And that's what they're thinking right now. They're saying, hey, we can put them out of this with another score right here.
All of their scores have been under 3 minutes.
Yeah, and that's what they do. That's their style of play, and yet you got to defend it.
Well, we have some other games throughout the area tonight that going to be very interesting. Some interesting scores from last week as well that we can get to in a bit. But the quarterback, Xavier Means, is going to take it himself, avoids one tackle, picks up the first down out to the 48-yard line of South Florence. That's a 12-yard pickup for the quarterback for the Northwestern
Now, Alan, does Northwestern have all 3 of their timeouts?
I think they do.
And they got 35 seconds on the clock with 3 timeouts, the way they can throw the ball downfield. This is a
quarterback. Means fires into the boundary.
And he did a great job of tackling him in bounds and that clock's going to keep running. They're probably going to burn a timeout right here is my guess.
And that catch was by Peyton Vinings. Vinings picked up, now we see there's a penalty flag down. Are they calling it an incomplete pass? Looks like he caught it, but
yeah, I couldn't
maybe
quite tell from up here.
CMC replay. He may have dropped it at the end, but now they're coming to the sideline to see if it was a penalty flag. Well, the referee's not saying anything, so it must just be an incomplete pass. 2nd down and 10 from the 48.
22 seconds on the clock, so that control, they're going to have to go down the field eventually.
And he does throw the slant this time out in the right boundary.
Oh, they did
Nice
a great
catch.
job of keeping him in bounds in. And what he should have done was caught that ball and stepped out of bounds.
Now, that was definitely a catch for 3 yards by Cameron Vance.
But when you got 12 seconds left and you got your timeouts in your pocket, you use them right here. And Paige Wofford smartly did that.
Well, they took timeouts, so they will keep the football on the South Florence side of the field. So we will give you an update on our score stream. Some scores from elsewhere around the area. Carolina Forest, again, still leads 20-0 at the half. Sumter by 2 over Myrtle Beach, 22-20, second quarter. No score, St. James, Lucy Beckham, West Brunswick, North Myrtle Beach. May River over Lake City, 21-8. Socastee leads Aner 14-7 now. Cheraw over Conway, 7-3. No score between Georgetown, Johnsonville. No score, Carvers Bay, Andrews. Green Sea Floyd's Mullins. Hemingway, Scotts Branch. No scores elsewhere, anywhere. So, but the only college game tonight is Louisville. They're messing around with James Madison, and the Dukes are leading 7-3 right now.
I tell you what, those guys have had some big time upsets over the years.
Yep. So 12 seconds, make it 13 seconds left in the first half. They reset the clock, and Northwestern. So it's 3rd down 7.
And it looks like South Florence is playing a soft cover 4. And that's where you need to be right now. You got to keep it in front of you and play for one more play with 13 seconds left. They do not need to let these guys in the end zone.
There's an awful lot of discussion between the officials before they'll let them snap the football. What they're waiting on is anybody's guess.
Yeah, they're still discussing that daggum interference call they made earlier.
So they've
in the game.
added even more time, so it's 14 seconds left on the clock. So that's not a big deal, but still the quarterback gets rid of it in a hurry.
And they get
Catch is made by John Spurgeon. Spurgeon runs out of bounds, stops the clock with 8.6 seconds and may move the chains. So more than enough for the first down to the 32-yard line for Northwestern.
8.6. That ball stopped. That clock stops with that first down.
Yep. And he ran out of bounds.
And he's got 2 for sure plays throwing it down the field. He's going to take a shot right here.
In the end zone. And the ball is batted away.
And I tell you what, that was a
David Flood.
Yeah, and I tell you, Flood made a great effort on that ball. That ball was up, and he went up with one hand, but it was a little bit overthrown.
So they got one more shot at it, Coach.
Yeah, and they got what, 3.9?
Reckon they'll go to the end zone again?
Yeah, they're going to go to the end zone. I mean, why not? Especially with them daggum guys outside that can run and catch.
When you got Peyton Vining, David Flood, and Cameron Vance, why not? You got 2nd down and 10 from the 32, but only 3 seconds remaining in the first half. Here's the final play. He throws a crossing pattern to Vance. Vance at the 25 to 20, 15, and close to the 10, but time is going to run out.
And that was a great call. I love that call.
Really was a good play.
Yeah, because they knew they had him on the back end. They had him outnumbered, and he just brought that little screen across, and he put it in the hands of a guy that can make you miss. I thought that was a great call.
All right, your halftime score is Northwestern on top And we'll come back in just a little bit with more of the Friday Night Rivals on CW21, presented by the Conway Medical Center.
Wiring issues, sparking electrical outlets, circuit breaker tripping? Call the electrical experts at Mr. Sparky and let us help you with any of your electrical problems. We install whole home generators, electric panels, indoor and outdoor lighting, and maintain solar electrical systems and more. We're here for you 24 hours a day, and we still don't charge to come out during normal business hours. No job is too big or too small. Call us, Mr. Sparky, and we'll be right over.
If you've been injured at work, you need someone who's ready to listen and respond. Just call Joy. You need a law firm committed to protecting your medical rights, your family, and your job. Just call Joy, a team that's determined to get the best possible results in the least amount of time. Just call Joy. If you've been hurt on the job, get the workers' compensation benefits you deserve. Just call Joy, 843-215-3100.
Robison Community College, your source for higher education and short-term training needs. Offering accounting, basic law enforcement training, cosmetology, criminal justice, cybersecurity, electrical systems, EMS, HVAC, mechatronics, medical office administration, respiratory therapy, radiography, university transfer, artificial intelligence, welding, and more. Online and face-to-face instruction available. Learn more at robison.edu.
Aprende inglés gratis en RCC.
Ed Piotrowski's 3-Degree Guarantee, presented by Monarch Roofing.
Every weekday I get the forecast high temperature right within 3 degrees. Monarch Roofing will donate $50 to a local charity. This quarter, the money will benefit Help for Kids Backpack Buddies.
Tune in to ABC 15 News at 5 to see Ed's accuracy and how much gets donated. So far, Monarch Roofing has donated over $20,000 to local charities. It's Ed Piotrowski's 3-Degree Guarantee, presented by Monarch Roofing. ABC 15 is your weather authority.
Back at Bruin Stadium on the campus at South Florence High School, where Northwestern, your 5A Division II state champions, leads your 4A state champions by a score of 31-14 on the A&I Fire and Water Restoration halftime report. A&I Fire and Water Restoration, making your house home again after disaster strikes. We want you to stick around after the game for Search for the Truth, the Amanda Knox story, followed by ABC 15 News at 11. Of course, WPDE.com. You can watch anywhere in the world. And each week we feature 2, but this week only 1 since Northwestern's out of our region. But we feature a scholar athlete from each school. At the end of the season, Benjamin Franklin, the punctual plumber, will give one scholar athlete a $5,000 scholarship. And here are this week's nominees. Of course, why not? The quarterback, Mr. Everything, Messiah Jackson. Why wouldn't he be a scholar athlete, Coach? He is terrific at everything he does. He plays football, track and field, and just a 4.713 GPA. I mean, and he's very active in his church. And just to, Drew Marlowe says, you couldn't ask for more. And I said to you before the game, he is, to me, looks like the next Lenora Sellers. Well, if he had another year, I think he could get to that level.
Well, that's why you're a basketball coach, Alan.
Okay, that's right.
But I do appreciate that. And the bottom line on that deal is Lenoris is a talent that you're going to have.
He's generational.
He's a generational, and you're probably going to have that kind of talent one time in your coaching career.
Right.
And yeah, Messiah is certainly a good football player and a good quarterback. And yet, you know, he doesn't quite have the company that Lenoris had. Lenoris has some pretty good people.
Yeah, some pretty good receivers and whatnot around him, no question. All right, 31-14 is your halftime score on the A&I Fire and Water Restoration halftime report from Bruin Stadium. It is Friday Night Rivals, presented by Conway Medical Center and Mr. Sparky.
DIY? How about DDIY? Don't do it yourself. Leave it to the professionals. Benjamin Franklin is your plumbing expert. We can take the hassle out of your home's plumbing. We can handle whole house repipes, unclogging your drains, installing water heaters, and help with any natural gas or inspections. And we're always there for you 24 hours a day. Benjamin Franklin is your punctual plumber. If there's any delay, it's you we pay.
Turfgrass management is not just guys going out and cutting grass and putting bases down. There's so much more to it. Major League Baseball has made a substantial increase in the standards that all ball clubs should have. And a piece of it is you have to be a graduate of a 2 or 4 year turfgrass management program. Having a life scholarship made that possible for me.
Job readiness means a better South Carolina, and a better South Carolina means a better you.
Greatness is measured in the mornings you wake up ready to move, in the moments you choose motion over stillness, in every single time you refuse to sit this one out. That's why CMC Orthopedics has 5 locations across the county and sees walk-in patients every day. It's why the Chanticleers trust us with their dreams as the premier orthopedic provider of CCU athletics. Greatness keeps moving, and CMC Orthopedics keeps you there.
Hi, I'm Lenore Sellers, South Carolina football quarterback. In football, making the right call can mean the difference between winning and losing the game. Your healthcare is no different. With multiple locations throughout the state, Hope Health offers convenient, expert primary and specialty care. Make the right call and become a patient of Hope Health today. To learn more, visit hope-health.org. That's hope-health.org.
Catch me out. But he quit coming.
Right here with Tony Zach from Benjamin Franklin Plumbing. You guys coming back for your 6th year with Friday Night Rivals. How do you feel week 0, but high school football is back? How excited is that?
Oh, yeah. Look, and how about the weather during this time of year? This has been a great August so far, so really looking forward to the fall football weather here. Glad to be a part of it, especially with the scholarship at Ben Franklin Plumbing. We've been doing it for 6 years, and it's just neat to make a difference in young student athletes' lives.
Yeah, you guys, that's not something you have to do. Why is it something that you want to do, though?
It's just important to give back to the community. I mean, that's how, you know, all of our employees that live here, we're all part of this community, and it's great to give back any way we can. And this is just one of the ways that we can really highlight somebody as well by partnering with WPDE and just having a good time handling, you know, hanging out with the student athletes.
Thank you, Connor and Tony. Good job. Appreciate Mr. Sparky and the Benjamin Franklin Plumbing are awesome. But we also, what else is awesome, is the End Zone tonight on ABC 15. Catch all the highlights from our area on the End Zone with sports director Brandon Dunn. Specifically, the End Zone starts promptly at 11:20 on ABC 15 News. That way you know every week that you're going to get the top highlights from all the games throughout eastern South Carolina and up into North Carolina throughout the PD and the Grand Strand. It's halftime. It's 31-14 on the A&I Fire and Water Restoration halftime report. Northwestern leads the home team, and we'll be back with more of halftime. It's homecoming here at South Florence. We're going to have a long halftime report on the Friday Night Rivals presented by Conway Medical Center and Mr. Sparky on CW21.
Life can get a little hectic, and sometimes things slip through the cracks. But when life overflows, A&I is ready to step in. Our team acts fast to restore your home and bring peace back to your life. You can rely on A&I when life overflows.
The all-new 2026 Hyundai Palisade has finally arrived. The most anticipated 2026 vehicle is here at Myrtle Beach Hyundai. The Palisade is built for comfort and style, whether you're taking the family out to dinner or on a road trip for vacation. The Palisade is the vehicle you owe yourself to get you there. The latest tech to keep you connected and safety features to protect your precious cargo. New Palisades are arriving daily, and we're ready to show you this exciting new vehicle.
It doesn't matter who your team is, you're always a winner with Myrtle Beach Hyundai.
Hi, I'm Lenore Sellers, South Carolina football quarterback. In football, making the right call can mean the difference between winning and losing the game. Your healthcare is no different. With multiple locations throughout the state, Hope Health offers convenient, expert primary and specialty care. Make the right call and become a patient of Hope Health today. To learn more, visit hope-health.org. That's hope-health.org.
Urban Meyer built college football dynasties.
Football is a way of life.
Mark Ingram II ran his way to a Heisman.
I'm gonna do the rest of the show with this thing.
Rob Stone calls it like he sees it. This is the Triple Option, where legends tackle the biggest headlines in college football and the NFL with guests who don't hold back.
You're not winning with that owner.
Wow. It's football talk that hits harder than game day. The Triple Option, presented by Wendy's, wherever you get your podcasts.
This is the A&I Fire and Water Restoration Halftime Report.
Here with Todd Setzer from A&I. Thank you for joining us. 6 years together putting on this show, helping put on this show for Friday Night Rivals. Why is this something that you like to be a part of?
A&I Fire and Water Restoration have been engaged in this community for 51 years, and so this is kind of a natural fit for us. And who doesn't love high school football? So I know the kids are back in school now, and so in the markets that we service, and so we're just happy to be a part of it, and so ready for Friday night to see the guys back on the football field and showcasing all their skills and their abilities.
Yeah, 51 years in the community. You guys are certainly well known, but you also know more people moving here every day. You see the houses going up, so if people are unfamiliar, talk a little bit about what you guys do.
So we're a fire and water restoration company, so anything disaster restoration, and so mainly insurance restoration work. And so 24/7 company, anything they would ever need for their home or their business, we can take care of it for us. And you can find us at our website, www.ai-restoration.com, or you can call us anytime, 24/7, 843-448-8485.
The best Thursday Night Lights and Friday Night Rivals highlights from across the country.
And here comes Khalil Taylor. Welcome to the Rams, Mr. Khalil. He can fly. There goes Khalil Taylor without his team. Here goes Khalil. Across midfield. The kicker to beat. Khalil Taylor. Welcome to Parma Wrestling, young man. Anything you can do, I can do better. DZ.
Trying to find somebody. Good coverage there. Here comes Agent Zero with a big hit. Wow. Justin Hartley came in and laid down the leather old school style.
Facing some pressure, Lawrence with the catch and the moves. Gets past midfield and more. Another move. 40, 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Yellow Jackets.
Starting the fourth quarter, Bradley going long. Trying for a home run hit, and does he make the catch? Yes, he does. Great catch by Keita Rego into the red zone, and that's how you ignite a crowd to start the fourth quarter.
From 59 yards, hold is good, kicks on the way, and he drilled it. With room to spare, Tommy Baccaro extends the drill with a...
Back. What a play. 59-yard field goal out of Brentwood, Tennessee. Man, we need to see that. We've got some good kickers here tonight, but that's about as good as they get at the high school level.
And he had room
to spare, no question. All right, let's take a look at our college games coming up tomorrow. We got some. Week 1 may have been the best week of the year of college football games. Best first week of the year. I knew I'd get that right eventually. Best first week of college football in a long, long time. Well, week 2 ain't too bad either. starting at noon tomorrow, right here on ABC 15. San Jose State taking on the former number 1 ranked team in the country, Texas, who got taken down last week by Ohio State. Ole Miss at number 20 takes on Kentucky. And
Kentucky was one of their few losses last year, so that should be interesting.
Yeah, and Stoops has got some work to do over there in Lexington. And finally, the nightcap is number 15 Michigan and number 18 Oklahoma. And Oklahoma is favored in that game by 2.5 points. That was a little surprising. And our upcoming schedule here, next week, we're on the mother station. As, of course, NASCAR's Xfinity Series is back on the CW. We will be on ABC 15. Chiraw is at Darlington, where last week Darlington was the talk of the NASCAR world. Chase Briscoe won back-to-back races in the Southern 500. But we're at the Purple Falcons house. Then the following week, East Clarendon at Lake City, right back here on the CW21. And then we'll see a couple of our really good friends. Trey Woodbury at Hannah Pamplico going over to Johnsonville. And the Golden Flashes, Coach, are about as good as they've been in a long, long time this year. So.
Yeah, and they've had some good football teams over the years. I remember when Doug Henson was there back in the time. Oh, ain't her boy. He had some darn good football teams.
Our buddy Paul Gable, look at him putting up the halftime stats for us on screen. Northwestern, twice as many rushing yards as South Florence, almost 3 times as many passing yards as South Florence, so 340 to 146 total. And 6-5 in the penalties. It seemed like more like 15 to nothing.
Yeah, it did, and I think the reason for that is that South Florence penalties seem to have a big effect on the play, much more so. And yet, you got to give Northwestern a lot of credit. Boy, they can push the ball down the field and put a lot of pressure on the defense, and it's been evident. I think the key to this game going forward is that they've got the ball now in this first series. And they get the ball, and if they can take that ball down and put it in the end zone and go up 3.5 scores, it's going to be hard to catch up with that crowd with the type of offensive output that they have.
And Paige Wofford's team got a big win last week over Ridgeview, one of the top 10 teams in 5A as well, beating Ridgeview 35-28. But I know that you and Miss Pat were awfully proud on the ride home from Lakeview last week when South Florence got the 2-point conversion in overtime to beat Summerville, one of the top 2, 3, 4, 5 teams in the state in the largest classification.
And that was a big win for them. And I want to make another point about Northwestern. They also, in game 1, beat Spartanburg 39-7. And so they were pretty dominant in Spartanburg. And Spartanburg typically is a very tough team to be dominant against.
31 points already here in this first half, 74 points in the first 2 games. So we're talking about in less than 2.5 games, they've scored over 100 points.
Yep. And watching them, you understand that. And really the only way to slow that down is to keep the ball away from them. And South Florence was doing a pretty good job of doing that, but it hasn't been as often as they would have liked.
Consistency.
Yes.
They went 3 and out on their first drive, but then they moved the football right down the field from their own 39, got the score, took the lead, scored again on their next possession, but they haven't been able to keep that up. The consistency, Northwestern is still quickly scoring, while South Florence has not been able to methodically move the football.
Yeah, and I think the clock really has seemed to go slow when they want it fast and vice versa. And the thing that has hurt South Florence on their drives, they're so dependent on their running game. They want to control the football, but the penalties that they have had more impact on them than Northwestern's penalties, simply because it put them in 2nd and 15s and such as that. And that's hard to overcome when you're a running football team.
Well, the visiting stands are starting to fill in a little bit, Coach. As our director, Donald Smith, told us that the the line to get into this place, which, again, most times game starts at 7:30. So, and if you're driving from Rock Hill, it's a long ride, and then you find out it's at 7 o'clock. You probably missed a lot, but it's starting to fill in, and South Florence is jam-packed in here, but they've got some work to do in the second half, down 31-14. We'll come back. We'll tell you more on the A&I Fire and Water Restoration halftime report as Northwestern leads the home team, number 1 versus number 1, on the Friday Night Rivals on CW21, presented by the Conway Medical Center.
Robison Community College, your source for higher education and short-term training needs. Offering accounting, basic law enforcement training, cosmetology, criminal justice, cybersecurity, electrical systems, EMS, HVAC, mechatronics, medical office administration, respiratory therapy, radiography, university transfer, artificial intelligence, welding, and more. Online and face-to-face instruction available. Learn more at robison.edu.
Aprende inglés gratis en RCC.
Greatness is measured in the mornings you wake up ready to move. In the moments you choose motion over stillness. In every single time you refuse to sit this one out. That's why CMC Orthopedics has 5 locations across the county and sees walk-in patients every day. It's why the Chanticleers trust us with their dreams as the premier orthopedic provider of CCU athletics. Greatness keeps moving, and CMC Orthopedics keeps you there.
Sometimes unwanted guests show up unannounced, and they refuse to leave. They make themselves at home, making life uncomfortable. But that's when you call A&I to show that unwanted guest the door and keep them from coming back. You can rely on A&I to kick mold out for good.
The all-new 2026 Hyundai Palisade has finally arrived. The most anticipated 2026 vehicle is here at Myrtle Beach Hyundai. The Palisade is built for comfort and style, whether you're taking the family out to dinner or on a road trip for vacation. The Palisade is the vehicle you owe yourself to get you there. The latest tech to keep you connected and safety features to protect your precious cargo. New Palisades are arriving daily, and we're ready to show you this exciting new vehicle.
It doesn't matter who your team is, you're always a winner with Myrtle Beach Hyundai.
You're watching your CW21.
Back at Bruin Stadium on the campus at South Florence High School, 31-14. Northwestern leads it, and Coach and I were just talking shop, if you will. I'm not in the weeds. I know I'm not a football-headed bozo, Coach. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's a term of endearment on my radio show.
I've been called a lot worse than a bozo, I promise you.
But it's hard to believe what little bitty tweaks make a difference in having a great season or a mediocre season.
Oh, no question about it. And the thing you got to keep in mind, South Florence a year ago had got beat down by Somerville and then got beat down by this crowd, ended up winning the state championship. So you can't take one game and try to qualify a season based on that game. And so I think that South Florence's ability to get back in this game is going to be get a stop right here, get on the scoreboard.
Huge series coming up for the South Florence defense. If they can get them 3 and out, get a score, make it a game, or at least keep them out of the end zone on this drive.
And that's been tough. And I tell you, the way they throw and catch the football in space, it's tough out there.
I've been surprised how quickly Xavier Means has gotten the football out of his hands. You know, he threw 3 interceptions last week in that win over Ridgeview, so they were able to overcome that.
And evidently he got all that out of him.
And Cameron Vance has been good tonight. So is Peyton Vinings and Quay Mobley. And the quarterback is going to be slung down in the backfield. That's a good start for the Bruins defense here in the second half.
Well, it is, and you know, that's what they're going to need. They're going to need to break their rhythm a little bit. When they get a rhythm throwing the football, you're in trouble. And that was Terry Gordon then who came off the edge, and, boy, he put him on the dirt in a hurry.
Gordon is committed to Anderson, so Bobby Lamb's got himself a good one.
Yes, he does. He's got 2 off of this team, as a matter of fact.
Bobby Lamb, former Furman, head coach now at Anderson, starting that program. And here's a pass out into the far boundary, and it's caught short of the first down, but close. It's going to be 3rd and about 2. See where they mark it down. I think that's about right. 3rd and 2 out at the 28-yard line. So after the loss on the first down sack, they get about 14 back, and 3rd and 2. So quarterback Means takes the snap. He's going to run with it himself. He's going to pick up the first down and about 3 or 4 more out close to the 35-yard line.
Boy, I tell you, Means has been impressive all night long. He's just put the ball on a dime and been very effective when he's tucked it.
So a 5-yard pickup to the 34, 6-yard pickup to the 34, makes it 1st and 10 for Northwestern, leading at 31-14. Third quarter action from Florence, South Carolina. Alan Smothers, Chuck Jordan, Paul Gable in the booth, Rodney Berry down on the field, and our Lucky Dog Television Productions crew. And here's a huge run up the middle by Nigel Smith. Smith carries into South Florence territory, moves the sticks. That's about a 40-yard gain, Coach.
Yeah, if we could see that, well, we don't want to see it because they're going to line up and throw the football real quick.
They're trying to hurry up offense by Northwestern. They take it, slip screen out into the field side. It's caught by Nigel Vance, or make it Cameron Vance, and Vance carries it for the first down. Or that was a Myrtle Beach Hyundai first down, so it's a we'll call it a 3-yard pickup. 2nd down, 7 to the 30.
Yeah, and as we said at halftime, Alan, this is an important drive for Northwestern. And I mean, you get in too much of a bind, and then the other team doesn't have to take any risk to move the football, and that puts you in trouble.
Hurry, spread up offense. And here it is again. Quick out, caught pass, moves the chains inside the 25, nearing the Robinson Community College red zone. Let's see where they mark it down at the 22. So 1st and 10 from the 22. Twin receivers left, 1 to the right. Single setback. Actually got 3 to the bottom of your screen. They hand off to the tailback, Nigel Smith, and he takes it to the house. 22 yards for the touchdown.
And you know what makes it so tough to play defense against these guys is they spread you to the sideline. They get your linebackers running, and all of a sudden they give you the ball up the gut, and those linebackers take one bad step, and they're caught. And that's what they're doing. And they're that's as impressive an offense as I've seen in quite a while.
An 80-yard drive in less than 10 plays. We'll see from Paul. Paul Gable says 6 plays, 80 yards, and a 22-yard run for a touchdown by Nigel Smith, and the extra point is added to make it 38-14 now. They're down by 3 touchdowns, Coach.
Well, yeah, and it's going to be a hard comeback, but, you know, those guys are tough, and they'll figure it out.
We'll get the numbers when we come back from this timeout. It's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Conway Medical Center on CW21.
The all-new 2026 Hyundai Palisade has finally arrived. The most anticipated 2026 vehicle is here at Myrtle Beach Hyundai. The Palisade is built for comfort and style, whether you're taking the family out to dinner or on a road trip for vacation. The Palisade is the vehicle you owe yourself to get you there. The latest tech to keep you connected and safety features to protect your precious cargo. New Palisades are arriving daily, and we're ready to show you this exciting new vehicle.
It doesn't matter who your team is, you're always a winner with Myrtle Beach Hyundai.
This season, ABC 15 Sports has added a little help to ensure that the End Zone remains the #1 football show on Friday night. Just drag the clip onto the timeline. So let's go to our game of the week. Who shot these highlights?
Catch the End Zone every Friday night starting at 11:20, only on ABC 15 News.
Florence High School, during the fourth quarter of tonight's game, will be highlighting the school bus stop of the game. And the law in every state requires drivers to always stop for a school bus when the stop arm is out and the red lights are flashing. Remember that. The school bus stop of the game coming up in the fourth quarter. South Florence trying to move to 3-0. Northwestern also 2-0. Both teams had huge wins last week. And I guess you could call week one huge wins as well. South Florence over their arch rival, West Florence. We were over there at West Florence for it. And, of course, you said that Northwestern got a huge win over one of their rivals, Spartanburg as well, Spartan High. And here's a long kick that's going to go out of bounds again and will come out to the 35 for South Florence. So Messiah Jackson, who was our Scholar Athlete of the Week, has been very good in this one, but that Northwestern defense and penalties have held him in check.
Yeah, I'd say penalties put them in a bind offensively, and then the other side of the ball defensively, they just haven't been able to perform well in space.
And we've got timeout on the field, so that'll give us a chance to check out on some other games around the area on our score stream, if I can get my phone to open up properly. Let's see who else we got. South Carolina Forest was up. Well, I've not gotten an update on a lot of these, so it says still 20-0 at the half. Ooh, Sumter all over Myrtle Beach, 36-27 in the second quarter. Louisville has cut James Madison's lead down to 1 with another field goal. It was 7-3. It's now 7-6. May River leading Lake City 21-16 in the third. Cheraw still on top of Conway 7-3 in the third. Socastee still leading Aner 14-7 in the third. And Illinois on top of Notre Dame. That's a volleyball score. I'm sorry. And here's a big run by up the middle by South Florence. Have a chance. A blocker out in front. That is Jayon Perkins. Perkins is going to use that blocker to get all the way
I tell you,
into the end zone.
That was some run by Perkins in, and that's what the doctor ordered. I mean, they're back where they were at square root, so don't give up on this crowd. You can see by the replay right here, this is all Perkins right here. He does a great job. Breaks the tackle and then uses his blockers to a T.
Yeah, Samaj Parker did a nice job.
He really did.
Being out in front, running interference for Jayon Perkins. And Jayon, the 6'2", 200-pounder, transfer from West Florence, goes 65 yards for the touchdown, 55 of it pretty much on his own.
Yeah, and that was a one-play 65-yard drive, and that's what you need when you're in a bind like South Florence is right now. Now, there again, we got to stop the other crowd when they get the ball back.
So they cut into the lead, 38-20. They're going for the extra point. This left footer partially blocked, but it still crosses the uprights, or between the uprights, across the crossbar and gets the extra point. So it's 38-21. So they're actually two scores, Coach, away, but keeping the other team from scoring is the major problem.
And in 1 minute and 40 seconds, or am I wrong, that's 2 minutes and can't see the clock.
Yeah, 2:23, something like that.
Two and a half. We've had two scores in this game.
And we're still, like I said, 9:27 on the clock here in the third quarter. And big plays by both teams. Paul Gable, our statistician, tells it was a 6-play, 80-yard drive and a one-play, 65-yard drive.
Yeah, and you would expect the opposite between these two teams.
Yeah.
But, again, that's what the doctor ordered for South Florence, and now you got the challenge of stopping this crowd on offense.
Here's Corey Joyner again. Coy, the 1-yard line. He's going to return it out to the 15, and is hit right there. Nice job by South Florence.
And, boy, I tell you, that was a great kick and great coverage. He put them on a long field right here. Anytime you can put them on the 15 with a kickoff, you've done a great job. That's 85 yards to go. Don't think this crowd isn't capable of doing it, though.
Yeah, but that was, he had a head of steam built up and stopped right in his tracks at the 17-yard line, 1st and 10. Call it the 18. 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line, single receiver to the bottom of your screen, 3 to the top. That's the boundary side. Single setback is Quan Mobley. They hand off to Mobley. Mobley goes right, and he gets a host of blue shirts in his vicinity, and they bring him down at the line of scrimmage. So we'll call it a half-yard gain, 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, and you know, they're backed up a little bit, and they're going to be a little more conservative with this kind of lead.
Mm-hmm.
And yet I would expect that they're going to come out slinging it here.
That'd be good to run the clock. Keep it on the ground, run the clock. But you're right, Coach. They sling it into the boundary side right. Pass is caught, but it's a short gainer. Inbounds, by the way.
One thing I've noticed on the Northwestern sideline is that ball boy is getting the ball on the field in a hurry to the official and trying to get it spotted in a hurry.
6-yard pickup makes it 3rd down and 3. They hand off again to Mobley. Mobley right at the 1st down sticks.
Yeah,
I think
that one's going to be close. It looks like he got it.
Yeah, he got it. Move the chains to the 30-yard line. At the 29, they started at the 18, so they get to the 29, just enough for a 1st down. 1st and 10 right there. Myrtle Beach Hyundai, 1st down for Northwestern. And the quarterback hands off to Mobley again. Now, Mobley's carried the ball more here in the second half than he did in the entire first half.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that they're looking at their lead and they're saying, let's slow this game down a little bit. Why not? You got a 3-score lead, and you know.
But is that the right move, Coach, to kind of take your foot off the gas?
Well, you know, it depends on exactly sometimes how much respect you got for the other guy, too.
Quarterback keeps it himself, breaks 2-3 tackles across the 45 to the 48-yard line. That's a 1st down for Northwestern again. The Rock Hill team moves the chains, but they're keeping it on the ground, not throwing the ball as much. I've seen too many teams, though, go to that, delay offense in basketball. I'm the basketball guy, Coach.
Yeah, you got
Go
it.
to that delay game, and things seem to turn around on you if you don't keep your foot on the gas.
Well, now, at the same time, the last couple of plays have been very conservative, but they've eaten up chunks of yardage here.
Huge yardage. And we got a South Florence player down out near the 50. And they seem to be taking their time getting out to him, but it's more. It looks like a cramp. And it was a hot day today. It was very hot today, and he's up on his own. And that's
Amari Reeves, and they need him back in there as quick as they can get him.
Again, he's committed to Anderson, one of the top tacklers on that defense. They don't tackle the quarterback or the receiver until he picks up the 1st down inside the 40. 1st and 10 at the 38 for South Florence. Northwestern with the football. They hand off again to Mobley. Mobley, gang tackled right at the line of scrimmage. At least South Florence is at least closing the holes now.
Yeah, they're playing better on defense. There's no question about it. But they still are just having a hard time stopping this crowd. They're so dynamic. They do so many things well on offense.
That's a great word. Dynamic means is throwing the football in a hurry. Watch, he gets rid of it right away into the stretched hands.
I tell you what,
Evan Harrison, he dropped it, but that would have been a huge gainer.
Yeah, and that was a great throw by Means, and the ball was dropped, but he came off of that fake and had to get it out of his hands in a hurry, and he did that. And typically when you do that, you don't have a great location on your throw, but he put it right in his hands.
Yeah, the play action was perfect at the point and just hit him right in the hands. He just dropped it. That's Evan Harrison, who hasn't had a catch tonight. It's mostly been Peyton Vinings, David Flood, and mostly Cameron Vance as your wideouts.
Yes.
With Quay Mobley in the backfield. 3rd down and long. They hand off to Mobley. Mobley is tackled after a 3-4 yard gain. So a decision coming up for Paige Wofford, Coach.
Well, I can tell you what he's going to do. He's going for this. I mean, you're down there. You're going for it. And I wouldn't be surprised he didn't put it in his quarterback's hands.
Yes, I would. If I had to choose, I think that it will be a quarterback keeper all the way. Xavier Means, 4th down and a long 3. Need to get inside the 30. And a flag goes down before the play is snapped. That usually means an offensive penalty.
Right. And, of course, that would put a different spin on the play and probably on the play call itself.
So a false start against the Trojans puts them in a 4th and 8 situation now. So what's your play call here, Coach?
My play call here is try to get a first down.
You're like me. The best pitch to throw is a strike, right, Coach?
You got that right. And it depends on how good the hitter is.
Right.
But I think right here, really, what you want to do, I think you're going to see them try to throw the ball to a crosser.
Yeah,
because that's where they've had a lot of success.
A lot of slant
and
patterns.
You expect a little bit of a rush right here. See the crosser right there, and they got it.
And they got it wide open. That's Vinings, and Vinings, did he get enough? He's inside the 30. Yeah, they're going to move the sticks. So that's a first down for Northwestern. And you're right, Coach. Those crossing patterns, those little skinny posts have been good for them all night.
Well, they've been good. And basically what they're doing, they're just driving. The routes are driving the defensive backs off the ball, and they're coming from the other side and picking it in there. You know, I'd love to be a running back in this offense because what happens is they're spreading the defense out so much that they create some seams up in there, and not necessarily by blocking people.
Mobley carries for 5.
Out.
Close to the 20. We're right at the Robeson Community College red zone.
They're going to throw a slant down here into the boundary.
3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. He rolls right. He's going to keep it himself. Means trying to pick up the first down. He's close to the 15.
I don't think he got it.
I don't think he got it. Well, they are putting the down marker right there, so a 5-yard pickup is going to be maybe a half-yard short. 3rd and 1 inside the Robeson Community College red zone.
And this is a good down and distance to throw the ball into the end zone when you're in this close. Don't. And they're bringing heat. They're bringing heat off the edge. Northwestern sees that heat. He may throw right into it with that slant route.
Nigel Smith was in the backfield with the quarterback, Means, and he hits Cameron Vance on the far sideline. That's enough for a first down. They only needed a half yard, so it's 1st and 10 from inside the 15 now at the 14. 4:42 on the rolling clock here in the third quarter. Northwestern trying to add to their lead. South Florence scored on their last possession. Here's a pass to the near sideline. It's Vance again. Vance gets to the 5, to the 4, to the 3.
I tell you, Vance has such good acceleration once he gets the ball in his hand, and I think that's what separates him.
Actually, it was Evan Harrison. My apologies, Coach. Evan Harrison got the first down from his slot at the 3-yard line, so it's 1st and goal. South Florence, 1st and goal from the 3. Leading 38-21. Taking a long time to get the play call from the sideline. It's Smith in the backfield with Means. Means fires a quick one across the middle for a touchdown for Vance. He does it again, Coach.
Yes, he does, and Vance has been very, very impressive. But I have been most impressed by Xavier Means. He is a junior. He's not real big. He's 6 foot, 155. He looks skinny from up here, but that rascal can go.
He throws it on the money. A Hope Health touchdown. Hope Health, your health begins here. Inside the Robeson Community College red zone for the touchdown from 3 yards out. Here's the kick. The extra point is up. It is also good again. And a timeout on the field. We'll take it with them. A new lead for the Northwestern Trojans, 49-21 from Bruins Field at South Florence. It's Friday Night Rivals on the CW, presented by Conway Medical Center.
Recycle Right, South Carolina. Did you finally get around to painting the kitchen? Great news! But remember, paint, household cleaners, automotive fluids, and similar items are classified as household hazardous waste and must be recycled properly. In Horry County, residents can bring these items to the Solid Waste Authority's Household Hazardous Waste Facility, located in Conway. Visit www.solidwasteauthority.org or www.recyclerightsc.org. Recycle Right, South Carolina.
At HTC, we're here to keep you connected, here to help you work and play better from home. And most importantly, here with HTC Smart Wi-Fi, providing a safe, secure, and reliable fiber optic connection. We're HTC, and we're here for you, so you can be there for all of life's best moments. Stay better connected, build closer connections, connect with HTC Internet. HTC, here to connect.
We're not on the air, are we?
Back at South Florence. Let me correct myself, because I was looking at the scoreboard. I love Dr. O'Malley, the superintendent here at the Florence School District. That is a terrible scoreboard.
Well, it's very
can't read it.
It's very difficult to read from up here.
Yeah.
Because about the only thing that I can look down at the scoreboard and identify is the time, but the score is right beside that. You have other information such as timeouts left, but it's as if you have to search it to find what you're looking for.
That's exactly what I was doing before the break. So to correct myself, it's 45-21, not 49. It looked like 49 to me.
You can't blame that on the scoreboard, Alan.
No,
you're just blind as a daggum bat.
My eyesight is terrible. At least my voice works now. All right. They return out to the 15-20 and across the 25, close to it, as South Florence will have it back. Again, now down 45-21 with 3:41 to go in the third.
And do you realize that South Florence has had only – how many offensive plays have they had this half? Not many.
No, they scored on one play.
They scored on one play, and isn't that the only possession?
I think that's the only play they've had in the third quarter.
that's the only possession they've had.
Yeah, Paul Gable said that's the only play they've run in the third quarter.
That's just kind of crazy, isn't it?
Something stuck to you there, Coach.
Yeah, that was a 13-play, 82-yard drive, 5 minutes and 31 seconds. Now, let's see what South can do to the ball.
Well, let's see if they can run some clock and get some points out of it. Big hole up the left side. It's going to be a large. Or was that Gabriel McLaughlin?
You know, the tough thing about playing Northwestern is that offensively, you become pigeonholed about what you can do because of their offensive output.
Yeah.
And it puts you in a bind. But I believe that they can run the football on these guys, but it really doesn't matter when they can score at will.
That was Gabe McLaughlin who picked up the 8 yards. It's 2nd down and 2. They bring in Samaj Parker. Bruce Thompson checks out, and a 1st down run for the Bruins. Moves the chains across the 30 to the 31, close to the 31-yard line. So 1st and 10 for South Florence. Samaj Parker wide to the right. Jayon Perkins in the slot this way. And Messiah Jackson. 2 minutes and 37 seconds on the rolling clock. Drew Marlowe patrolling the sidelines. They hand off up the middle again. I think they're content to run clock as much as trying to get points.
Well, their biggest issue right now is slowing this other crowd down.
Exactly.
And also they've got to score some points, and they know that. But when you got to score points, you do what you do best. And this is what they do best right now. And that's been McLaughlin pretty much carrying the load.
Yeah, he's picked up 17 yards on the last 2 carries. Picks up 7 on this play. So 2nd down and 3. They hand off up the middle again. This is Cameron James, and James runs into a host of white shirts, and he's not going to go anywhere. So that's going to be third down and about 1. They give him credit for a 1-yard pickup. McLaughlin comes back in. So does Bruce Thompson. So a couple of regulars back in the ballgame. Jayon Perkins will line up in the slot. Samaj Parker comes off the field. And Ben Tyner. No, excuse me, that's Malik Robinson that's wide out. They send McLaughlin in motion. The quarterback keeps it himself, and I think he's short, Coach.
Yeah, it's going to be very close.
No,
he got a pretty good spot.
they're moving the chains already.
Yeah, he got a good spot on that.
The referee told me, and boy, the chain crew was Johnny on the spot. They were moving right away.
They're trying to help the team out as much as they can.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've had that problem in the past where the chain crew would not move.
Yeah.
Now this week they're moving before we even know the end of the play. So it's a first down, enough pick up by the quarterback, Messiah Jackson. Gabe McLaughlin, here he gets to play again. Thought it was a play action there for a second, but McLaughlin takes the football and gains 3. It's 3, so it'll be second down and 7 out to the 45. And big number 99, Bronzier Nicholson.
Yeah, I believe in
going out of the ball game.
Yeah, it don't have the height and weight listed. I'd like to see what it is, though.
Oh, he's a big old
He's
booger.
just a pup, too. He's
only a sophomore. And time is running down.
Yeah, I think they're going to let the quarter
end the third quarter. So South Florence has got 12 minutes to make up the deficit, 45-31, down a couple of touchdowns.
And the truth is, Alan, it's a 4-score game right now. And Northwestern's got to shoot themselves in the foot.
45-21 is your score as Northwestern leads South Florence on the Friday Night Rivals, presented by Conway Medical Center on CW21.
Hurricane season is here, and we're ready to help keep your power on. Don't be left in the dark. Prevent power outages and all kinds of weather with a Briggs & Stratton backup generator. We'll help determine the correct size for your home to keep all of your electrical devices running. So keep your family safe and comfortable with a Briggs & Stratton backup generator today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
I was a home health aide, and I was crushing my L7 disc, and it got real bad. And the company, they didn't try to help me out. They just sent me to the next assignment. As soon as I called a Joy Law Firm, I had a team of people who was working for me. They treat you like whatever's going on with you is important. You could feel the love that they put into it. I'm very happy with my settlement. If you need somebody to work for you, call Joy Law Firm.
Robison Community College, your source for higher education and short-term training needs. Offering accounting, basic law enforcement training, cosmetology, criminal justice, cybersecurity, electrical systems, EMS, HVAC, mechatronics, medical office administration, respiratory therapy, radiography, university transfer, artificial intelligence, welding, and more. Online and face-to-face instruction available. Learn more at robison.edu.
Aprende inglés gratis en RCC.
This is an ABC 15 Weather Authority Hurricane Season Tip.
It's important to know what kind of hazards could affect your area. Things like storm surge, flooding, strong winds, tornadoes, or even rip currents could impact your plans. It's worth checking so you and your family are ready.
Trust ABC 15 News, Ed Piotrowski, and the area's most experienced team of meteorologists to keep you ahead of the storm. ABC 15 is your weather authority. ABC 15 is your weather authority.
Back at Bruin Stadium on the campus at South Florence, number 1 ranked Northwestern. That's according to Sports Illustrated. They do a top 25 ranking of all classifications together, and yes, they have Northwestern ahead of Dutch Fork, who's number 2, followed by South Florence, number 3. But if you look at the media poll in South Carolina, the Bruins are number 1 in 4A, while Northwestern is number 2 in 5A, and a huge hole right up the middle, and he's going to take it all the way to the zone. Touchdown for South Florence. And I did not even get his number. I don't think that was James, but we'll see. If it's, let's see if we can get, that's a Hope Health touchdown. See if we can get ourselves a Mr. Sparky replay on that one, or a Conway Medical Center replay on the touchdown run after the extra point.
Up and
Kick
good.
is up is good.
Now, from what I've seen, was that the first play of the drive?
First play of the quarter.
Of the quarter?
Yeah,
I'm talking
first
about
play of the
that
fourth quarter.
drive. They changed, okay,
Yeah.
7 plays, okay.
That was a Hope Health touchdown. Hope Health.
And here you go on the replay, and Allen, he just kind of split the gut right up in there and just outran everybody.
It was
And
James.
That looks to be James. Yes, it does. And that was a 7-play, 80-yard drive. Took 3:56 off the clock and a 55-yard touchdown run. And the truth is, if they're going to get back in this game, that's how they got to do it, because that's what they do best. And so you can look at it a lot of different ways. But my thoughts are that when you're struggling, you got to do what you do best, and that's what they do best.
Boy, the offensive line made a huge hole right there. Jerry Jenwright and Ethan Cash.
Yeah, and I thought Thayer had something to do with it as well.
Yeah, Luke Thayer at center. They opened a enormous hole there that Cameron James took all the way to the end zone. You'll see that on the end zone tonight with Brandon Dunn at 11:20 on ABC 15. So check that out. The end zone, your top high school scoreboard show in the area, covering all the way to North Carolina.
And you know, what you got to do here, you got to slow this offense down somehow, some way, and that's been the struggle tonight.
Big-legged kick caught at the 1-yard line. He's going to bring it back out. He's out to the 30, 35-40, 45-50. He may take it all the way to the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown for guess who? Their top player, Cameron Vance, who is headed off to Lafayette next year. The Lafayette coaching staff is loving watching this game tonight on WPDE.com.
Well, and that's the problem with kicking the ball deep, is once you break that initial line, you got some running room, and you don't want to give that rascal any room.
He took it right up the gut, 99 yards for a touchdown.
Because, matter of fact, I thought he may have been in the end zone with the ball,
I
but
thought
he
he
wasn't.
stepped back in the end zone.
Yeah, it looked, but it's the ball. I think his foot was in the end zone, but the ball didn't cross it.
We still haven't had an update from the Carolina Forest game. It still says halftime, 20-0 over New Hanover. Sumter leading Myrtle Beach 36-7. Here's the extra point. So each team has scored. Well, you mentioned it in the third quarter, Coach, that they had scored 2 touchdowns in 2.5 minutes. Well, we've had 2 touchdowns in the first 30 seconds.
And you can see the replay on this. He just pretty much split the defense, and that ball was back there. It was close. But once you get to that point, it's going to be hard to take one down like this kid, because he can go. Now, I appreciate these kids hustling and getting after it. Look at that play, 21. I thought that was a heck of a job out of him, because sometime when you're getting your tail beat, John Quez Johnson was on the play then, and he didn't make the play, but I appreciate the heart.
Yeah, but I tell you what, Cameron Vance, they've said all night long that it's been Tamarian Watkins that their best player, who is going to Texas A&M, and I'm sure he's a fabulous player. But offensively, Cameron Vance has been everywhere.
Vance has, and yet when you look at the guy that's pulled the trigger for those guys, it's been the quarterback.
Yeah, Xavier Means has been really good.
And he's a better runner than I had been prepared for.
And he's only a junior.
Yes.
So,
but typically you're surrounded by good seniors when you perform well as a junior.
Well,
and South Florence has responded pretty well in this half offensively. They just hadn't been able to keep Meade sidelined.
22 seconds gone in the fourth quarter and 2 touchdowns scored.
That's the third one they've kicked out of bounds trying to kick it in that end zone, and they obviously don't want to kick it to Perkins, but at the same time, they're giving them decent field positions coming out.
Perkins and Parker have been very good returning the football, but giving them football at the 35-yard line. Yeah, so has the other crowd. That's was a big touchdown, but how often do you see 2 touchdowns in 22 seconds?
We've seen it
Not
twice
very
tonight.
often.
We've seen it twice tonight because the first 2 daggum scores in the second half, and then these 2.
Yeah. First 2, at least there was an 8-play drive.
Yeah, you're right.
These were a 1-play drive or 1 play in the fourth quarter and then a kickoff return for a touchdown. Jayon Perkins goes in motion and then turns around and heads back to the slot. On the right side, they hand off to James. James on his last play took it all the way, and he's got a big hole this time. Out to the 50-yard line. 15-yard pickup.
And you got to appreciate that these guys are really in a bind right now. They're 28 points down or 24 points down, and they're playing like they're ahead. And I appreciate that. And part of that goes in with the idea that they have been so successful in the last few years. They expect to win.
Without
and
question.
no matter what's going on, how bad it is, they expect to win, and I appreciate that.
And they're going for the home run ball here, but it's incomplete. You're right. I like the effort that these guys are giving.
Yep.
They haven't. There doesn't seem to be any quit in these guys yet.
No, they hadn't given up the ghost, and that was excellent coverage, by the way, then on the corner. He's man-to-man outside. He's running a vertical route. He's throwing the ball 40 yards in the air, and he's stride for stride with him.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10 at the 50. Nose of the football divides the field as Perkins checks out of the ball game. Thompson checks back in, and going wide to the far side is Malik Johnson. Make that Malik Robinson. In the slot is Tracy Washington, but the hand right up the middle and almost broke it again. Cameron James.
And they had Tamarian Watkins coming off the edge then, and that's kind of their go-to. And I think what they're doing when they get them in a passing situation, they're using him to put pressure on the quarterback.
9-yard pickup for Cameron James as Jayon Perkins comes back in the ball game and lines up in the slot. Out to that side is Ben Tyner. Gabe McLaughlin in the backfield. A little play action. They shoot it to Malik Robinson for the first down on the boundary side left. And he gets it down to the 35, so about a 10-yard pickup.
Yeah, just a nice little throw and catch there.
1st and 10 at the 35 for South Florence, moving the football. Down 24. 52-28. But we're in the fourth quarter.
With 10 minutes to play, so there's a lot of game to be played, but there's a lot of points to make up, too.
Nice job, Samaj Parker. Catches out of the backfield. He turns the corner. He's got a seam up the right sideline, and he takes it into the Robinson Community College red zone all the way down to about the 4-yard line. 1st and goal for the Bruins.
Yeah, I love their heart. They're continuing to play.
They're going to mark them down at the 5, so it's 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. Twin receivers to the short side right. One to the wide side left. Quarterback keeps it himself. Messiah Jackson. Jackson. Gang tackled right around the 3. So it'll be 2nd and goal from there.
Yeah, and we're looking at 9.5 minutes. That's still a lot of football to be scored, but a lot of points to make up as well. And what we got to have defensively, we're going to have some stops and maybe a turnover here or there. That's the only thing that's going to get South Florence back in the game. And Northwestern has done a great job of keeping the heat on.
So they bring in the heavy jumbo package, Coach. Think they're going to go for it right up the middle. As they have no wide out. Well, now they will split one man wide to the left. They got a whole bunch of people inside the box. Single setback. That's the quarterback. He takes it himself. He jumps into the pile. He's close to the goal line, but he doesn't quite get it in. So it'll be third down and goal from inside the 1.
Yeah, and they're going to keep running what they're doing. They feel like they can get some push in there, and I think they can.
2 downs?
Yeah, they can control. You know, they have controlled the line of scrimmage most of the night.
So here it is again, same alignment, same play. Quarterback takes it himself, pushes into the end zone, touchdown, South Florence. So they cut that lead from 52-28 to 52-34.
35. Well, yeah, 34.
As soon as they get the extra point, if they add it here with the left-footed kicker, Coy Joyner. Ooh, high snap.
Well, you got to give the holder an A+ on that one.
Great job.
He did a great job of getting it and putting it down.
That was Ben Tyner. Got it down. They got the hold, the snap, and the kick. It's 52-35. 17-point game now. We come back to the Friday Night Rivals presented by Conway Medical Center on CW21.
Unless you're sure an item can be recycled, don't do it. Wishful thinking and/or laziness can result in millions of dollars in removing contaminants. In Horry County, the following items are recyclable: plastic jugs and bottles, glass jars and bottles, aluminum cans, both steel and metal cans, cardboard, newspaper and magazines, office paper, and junk mail. Visit www.solidwasteauthority.org or recycleratesc.org for more info on how to recycle right South Carolina.
Clogged toilets? Is your kitchen sink backed up? Do you have a leaking faucet? Call the experts at Benjamin Franklin Plumbing and let us help with any of your plumbing problems. We repair leaky or broken water heaters, fix frozen pipes, unclog sewer lines, and even repair garbage disposals. We're here for you 24 hours a day, and we still don't charge to come out during regular business hours. Benjamin Franklin is your punctual plumber. If there's any delay, it's you we pay.
The folks on the sideline getting a little excited or need some excitement. This has been a crazy game, Coach.
Well, it's been a lot of scoring.
Listen, we expected some fireworks, but I don't know we expected them like this.
Yeah, we didn't expect Roman candles all night.
Woo. Give us the stats on that drive.
That last drive was 13 plays, 82 yards, and, what more can you ask for?
Ain't no
82
quitting
yards,
them, boys.
A 3-yard touchdown pass.
Actually, yeah, we're looking at the next one.
Paul's straightening me out. I'm looking at the wrong defense.
Yeah.
It was an 8-play, 65-yard drive with a 1-yard touchdown drive, 3 minutes and 23 off the clock.
Messiah Jackson ran it in the last 3 plays, and the kick is going to go over the head of the receivers into the end zone, and that will be a touchback, bringing it out to the 20. So we have 8:15 left in the fourth quarter, and your son is the defensive coordinator, Coach, and I know you're feeling. You're trying to send them good vibes to mental telepathy, but you got to feel sometimes there's nothing he could do.
Well, I've been in a situation before where you struggle to stop the other team or you struggle to score against the other team, and you just do everything that you can do and you pull all stops out. But at the end of the day, you can do what you can do, and that's it.
Well, listen, you were on the other side of this many more times than not when you were, dominating other teams. Is there at some point where you say, okay, enough is enough?
Well,
is there enough?
I don't think so. If I'm Northwestern right now, the way South Florence has responded with putting the ball in the end zone, you got to keep your foot on the pedal. And so I have no issue with what the score is and the way they're playing. But they've been so difficult to stop offensively because they create so much space and put the defense in a bind in that respect. And the quarterback's play has been impeccable as far as I'm concerned.
DJ James on the tackle for South Florence, and Northwestern moves the chains once more, but they're keeping it on the ground now, trying to run some clock.
Yeah, and that would be the amicable thing to do. But again, when the other team is scoring, you gotta continue to do what you do.
And it's
and this is and with a team that plays like they do, this is an important thing for them to be able to do as well.
Penalty
is to
flag.
be able to control the clock, because you're gonna need that at some point in time. You're gonna be in a tight ball game. You're gonna be in a situation where you need to manage the clock.
All right. Well, we got a timeout on the field with a penalty flag. We'll tell you what it is when we come back. Northwestern trying to hang on here at South Florence on Friday Night Rivals, presented by Conway Medical Center on CW21.
Hey, it's Tony Zach with Mr. Sparky reminding you it's hurricane season. Do you need help with your portable generator hookup? Mr. Sparky can make it easy by installing an interlock kit and a receptacle. This keeps our hard-working linemen safe when you're using your portable generator. Call the electrical professionals at Mr. Sparky. We'll be right over.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Hi, I'm Lenore Sellers, South Carolina football quarterback. In football, making the right call can mean the difference between winning and losing the game. Your healthcare is no different. With multiple locations throughout the state, Hope Health offers convenient, expert primary and specialty care. Make the right call and become a patient of Hope Health today. To learn more, visit hope-health.org. That's hope-health.org.
Back again at Bruin Stadium as South Florence trying to hang in there. Down 52-35 now, but they have scored on just about every possession. So now Northwestern is trying to, run some clock as well as stay in front of this team, knowing that they could score like that.
Well, there have been a bunch of points put up already.
Yeah, well, and that's the other thing I was going to make a point of. The penalty, by the way, was a delay of game, or they called the timeout just before the flag came down, so they didn't mark it off. 4-yard gain. But I was going to make the point before the break. As prolific as these offenses have been tonight, we haven't seen a turnover. Not a fumble or a interception on either side.
You are correct on that, and that is rare, particularly when you got a lot of scoring.
A lot of offense. You'd think that, the defense would at least they would put it on the field once or twice, even if it wasn't a turnover, that neither team has even dropped the football. Here's a snap. Quarterback's going to keep it himself. Xavier Means got the first down.
I tell you, when Means
7-yard pickup.
When he touches the ball, things happen, and he touches it every daggone play.
Yep. It is kind of disheartening as a defensive coach, isn't it? Because when they can throw it so effectively and so quickly, but then when they need an extra yard or two, that quarterback can just go get it himself.
Yeah, and the thing about a quarterback, and you're seeing the game change in that respect a great deal, because more people are trying to get that guy that can be a running back in the backfield and operate the team as well. But it's hard to stop.
That's why South Carolina, I think, is going to be so difficult this year. Is that Lenora Sellers, who became Superman, as they said, in the state championship, a game against this Northwestern team 2 years ago, is showing it at the college level. Now, he started out like a ball of fire on Saturday. Calmed down a bit. I mean, I think he was probably the best of the big four, but I think we don't give enough credence to what Tommy Castellanos did for Florida State, and what Rocco Becht has done at Iowa State. They have been terrific. I mean, Arch Manning and Cade Klubnik and Nussmeier and Sellers, what a move by Means. I'm telling you, this kid's got it.
Yeah,
Whatever it is, he's got it.
Means is, well, you know, what I see in the high school game particularly is you got a guy here that's just faster than everybody else on the field. And it looks like he's on the playground and nobody can catch him.
And it looks like he is dissecting. He's understanding what he's seeing on the other side of the ball.
Yeah, I would agree.
And hurry. That takes a lot to learn, doesn't it? Especially for a
young
guy.
Well, I think a lot of it's instinctive as well.
100%. Glad you said that, because I think it is instinctive. Oh, my goodness. A breakaway again by Nigel Smith. Big hole is going to keep that clock rolling inside 4:15 as they move the chains close to the Robinson Community College red zone. 1st and 10 at the 22 for Northwestern. They have not allowed South Florence, as much as they've scored, to get back in the ball game, to give them a glimmer of hope that they can overtake this Northwestern team. Single setback, trip receivers, quarterback keeper. Xavier Means inside the 15, right at the 15, so it's inside the Robinson Community College red zone, 2nd down and 3.
And we got the clock ticking down. It's about 3.5 minutes right now.
Yep.
And, they've done a really good job of burning the clock on this drive as well.
Yeah, they started with about 8:15, says our statistician Paul Gable. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate that.
I'm glad to know Paul's still awake down there.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's paying attention. So down to 3 minutes and 9 seconds before they snap it, and the quarterback just keeps it himself, stays in bounds, and down to the 12-yard line. It will move the chain, so 1st and 10, they could run the clock out without scoring.
Yeah, they can, but I'd be daggum if I was ahead like they're ahead and I had a quarterback that can play like that cat right there, he wouldn't touch the ball right now.
Oh, you mean take him out?
Yeah, I mean, my issue is that
he might
as
get
much
hurt,
as he's running the ball, I just and he doesn't need to at this point in time.
Well, Jalix Cunningham is the backup, and we haven't seen him at all as they give off to Nigel Smith again. Smith inside the 10. So it'll be 2nd down and 8, 2-yard pickup. And again, they can run this thing out without scoring. Clock is down to 2:15.
Yeah, I think they're going to keep it on the ground and try to gobble up as much time as they can.
Now, I don't know. South Florence used all their timeouts in the first half, but I still think they have timeouts here in the second half.
Yeah,
would you want to keep them?
But when you're in the situation that South Florence is in right now, you want the clock to run as bad as they do.
Big hit by Terry Gordon. Man, he had 19 tackles, 7 for loss in the first 2 games.
Yeah, and he's one of those guys that they'll tell you in a hurry. He's going to be a playmaker, and as he goes, they go.
Terry Gordon, big hit for South Florence. So down to about 1:30 to go, and it's 3rd down and 8. No gain on the play as Gordon makes the stop. Xavier Means running the play clock down. At least here at South Florence, you can see the play clock. It's down to 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And he got it off just before it ran down, and he completed the pass, inbounds to Vance. It's not enough for a first down, so the clock will continue to down to 1 minute. Exactly. So 4th down and 4, and they're going to go for it, Coach. They're going to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, you either kick it here or go for it, and really, they don't need it.
No.
It doesn't matter. That's a coach's preference.
They can get it down to 30 seconds before they snap it, and then they'll turn it over on downs with under a half minute to go.
I think he's going to take the penalty here and take a knee It's hard to say, but I just saw him talking with the official, and it appears that's what they're going to do.
They called timeout just before the clock ran out. So with 27 and a half seconds left, they called timeout. They'll run one more play. Once his knee hits down, now the clock will stop. So unless he runs around a while back there, which I don't see happening.
Yeah, they got more than one play unless. Yeah. But we'll see. I mean,
they'll take the knee and then they'll turn it over.
The classy thing to do here is take a knee.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no question about it.
Take the knee and then give it to him.
And yet, who knows?
So you want to hear some scores from elsewhere, Coach? I know you were looking on your phone there.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can find. I think the Carolina Forest game up in Wilmington has they've just kind of stopped following that one. Sumter in the third quarter still leads Myrtle Beach 43-27. Louisville has jumped in front of James Madison finally at the college level, 20-14 in the fourth quarter. It's North Myrtle Beach doubling up.
They're hustling on the field right now, Alan. Let's see what they're going to kick it. Yeah.
They're going to kick a field goal.
And not a bad call because
why?
Why is because you want to give your kickers as many kicks as they can get.
Okay.
They don't get a lot of opportunity.
I don't disagree with it, Coach.
And give them a kick. And I have no qualms with that call.
That is a field goal that makes it a 20-point ball game, 55-35, with 22 and a half seconds left in the ball game. North Myrtle Beach doubling up on West Brunswick right now, 24-12. It's May River over Lake City, 27-16 in the fourth quarter. Chirral still holding a 7-3 lead over Conway in the fourth. And Socastee beating St. James. That's a final now. Socastee a winner, 14-7. They trailed 7-0.
Over Ainer, you mean?
Ainer,
yeah.
Yes. Socastee over Ainer. Loris ran over the South Columbus Stallions 54-14. And I think that's pretty much all we have for local games, on Score Stream for the time being. But you can hear all the scores and see all the highlights coming up promptly at 11:20 on ABC 15 tonight with Sports Director Brandon Dunn. Give us the numbers, Coach.
Yeah, that was a 12-play, 70-yard drive, and it looked like they were just taking their time. They ran 7 minutes and 52 seconds off the clock, which is not customary for them because they're usually quick strikes.
Yeah.
And they end the scoring drive with an 18-yard field goal.
So we are going to have Rodney Berry on the sidelines coming up here in just a few minutes to present the HTC game ball. Watch out. South Florence finally picks it up at the 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, and knocked off his pins there. Good return for South Florence. Aiden Robinson on the return.
You know, these are two good football teams on the field tonight. I can't help but believe that Northwestern is as explosive as anyone I've seen in quite some time. But there again, it's early in the season. And when you have an explosive passing game, the defense will catch up somewhat as the season progresses.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I'd hate to have to catch up with that crowd.
Yeah, South takes a knee. Now, you know that Northwestern ranks number 2 in 5A behind Dutch Fork, but Dutch Fork is a Division I team.
Right.
Northwestern is a Division II team, so they could win it all again.
Oh, yes. There's no question about that. Well,
and we'll take time out. We'll come back. We'll describe how this one came about. And, again, this does not preclude the Bruins from winning yet another state championship, their third in 4 years. But we'll tell you all about that on the post-game report. It's the Friday Night Rivals. A winner tonight, 55-35 for Northwestern from the City of Champions, Rock Hill, South Carolina, on the Conway Medical Center Friday Night Rivals presented by Mr. Sparky.
DIY? How about DDIY? Don't do it yourself. Leave it to the professionals. Benjamin Franklin is your plumbing expert. We can take the hassle out of your home's plumbing. We can handle whole house repipes, unclogging your drains, installing water heaters, and help with any natural gas or inspections. And we're always there for you 24 hours a day. Benjamin Franklin is your punctual plumber. If there's any delay, it's you we pay.
Greatness is measured in the mornings you wake up ready to move, in the moments you choose motion over stillness, in every single time you refuse to sit this one out. That's why CMC Orthopedics has 5 locations across the county and sees walk-in patients every day. It's why the Chanticleers trust us with their dreams as the premier orthopedic provider of CCU athletics. Greatness keeps moving, and CMC Orthopedics keeps you there.
Life can get a little hectic, and sometimes things slip through the cracks. But when life overflows, A&I is ready to step in. Our team acts fast to restore your home and bring peace back to your life. You can rely on A&I when life overflows.
This summer, ABC 15 and Duplin Winery are turning your evenings into something extra sweet. Each week, one lucky viewer will win a Duplin date night, including a sweet wine gift basket, a romantic tour and tasting for 2, plus a $50 Uber gift card. To enter, watch ABC 15 News at 7 every Thursday night. Look for the Duplin date night keyword, then head to WPDE.com to submit. Complete contest rules for Duplin date night, a sweet escape at WPDE.com/contest.
Back at Bruin Stadium on the campus at South Florence High School, 2 fabulous football teams here tonight, Coach. And it's time for the bus stop play of the game, or the bus stop of the game. And it was one that was pretty impressive just a few plays ago.
This is the school bus stop of the game. Always remember to stop when the school bus arm is out.
Boy, what a big play just a couple of plays ago from the biggest hitter on the South Florence team, Terry Gordon. What a shot right there, number 10. I mean, he's going to Anderson next year, and Bobby Lamb's going to love this guy. Watch. Boom. That's a bus stop right there.
Yeah, and he's got really good instincts. He knows how to close when the play, most guys want to run up the field and then try to close it down, but he naturally just kind of closes it down.
This is the school bus stop of the game. Always remember to stop when the school bus arm is out.
Congratulations to Terry Gordon, the school bus stop of the game. Good stuff right there. But I was going to ask Coach about next year. They're going back to one 5A state championship next year. This year still 2, so Northwestern could win it and Dutch Fork win it again like they did last year. But next year it's only 1. How does that change things, do you think?
Well, I think the justification for 2 in the biggest division is that you're more serviceable to your population that way. Mm-hmm. But when you start having 2 at the bottom end, which is what everybody wants, I think you water it down way too much.
Well, we'll talk about that as the weeks go by, because I really want to get your thoughts on that. But it's time to talk about the drive of the game, the one that set the tone.
Yeah, I think the first drive of the game set the tone. I mean, it was obvious in that drive that they were spreading the defense out beyond what they were comfortable with, and they were very capable of making game-changing plays, and they continued to do that throughout the game.
That's the Myrtle Beach Hyundai drive of the game. Myrtle Beach Hyundai, remember, no games, no gimmicks, just good deals at Myrtle Beach Hyundai. All right, there's your drive of the game, and time to go down to the field as Northwestern has huddled around our buddy Rodney Berry. He is with the head coach, Paige Wofford, of the Northwestern Trojans for the HTC game ball and the presentation of the Friday Night Rivals trophy.
Thank you, Chuck. Thank you, bad boy. Hard-fought game tonight. I'm here with the winners. I'm here with Coach Walford. Sir, what does it mean to have such a quality win so early in the season?
Well, it's our third win of the season. We'll take every single one of them. And to come in here into South Florence's place and beat them is a good deal for our kids. And to do it on their homecoming, kind of ruined it for them. But that's a good football team over there. They're going to win a bunch of football games. Yeah.
Well, it was a very impressive effort that we watched here tonight. We do two things here. We'll give away a game ball. This is called the HTC game ball. Number 5, where are you? Oh, yeah. You were a lot of fun to watch. Tell me your assessment of the game tonight.
Get the win. Offensive line is amazing, and get the win overall.
Yeah, good job, man.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, yeah! Hey, we're not finished. We're not finished, guys.
We'll work on interviews on Sunday.
This is the Conway Medical Center. This is the winners of this big game tonight. And, of course, this goes to you guys. Congratulations. See you guys.
Thank you, Rodney. And men of few words, Coach. Men of few words. I like that. Congratulations to Paige Wofford and to Xavier Evans, or excuse me, Means. Xavier Means. We could have gone with Cameron Vance, but Xavier Means, what a terrific move just the game he controlled all night
overall, and he did a good job just controlling the game, as you said. I thought that he just was excellent.
Well, we are going next week to Darlington, so the Purple Falcons will be our hosts next week, and I can't wait for that. So, Coach, look forward to it as well. And great job tonight. We saw a ton of offense.
Oh, man, more than I like. I'm a defensive guy.
I know you are.
And I'd be daggone if I like to see all that scoring.
Yeah, so Cheraw at Darlington on the mothership next week. ABC 15 is where we will be. For Paul Gable and our guy on the sideline, Rodney Berry, what a good time he had tonight, and the coach, Chuck Jordan. I'm Alan Smothers saying your final score was Northwestern 35, and the folks make that 52 to 50. I can't even read that scoreboard anymore. It says 55-35, I think.
55-35.
55-35.
Yeah.
I apologize, but we will get it right next week. Congratulations to Northwestern. For Chuck Jordan, Paul Gable, and Rodney Berry, I'm Alan Smothers. So long, everybody.
Greatness is measured in the mornings you wake up ready to move, in the moments you choose motion over stillness, in every single time you refuse to sit this one out. That's why CMC Orthopedics has 5 locations across the county and sees walk-in patients every day. It's why the Chanticleers trust us with their dreams as the premier orthopedic provider of CCU athletics. Greatness keeps moving, and CMC Orthopedics keeps you there.
The all-new 2026 Hyundai Palisade has finally arrived. The most anticipated 2026 vehicle is here at Myrtle Beach Hyundai. The Palisade is built for comfort and style, whether you're